Faint sounds of subway trains sitting ambience. A lighter flicks. Someone beatboxing in the distance.
Hey yo, gather round, let me put y'all on. See, the game ain't just about paper, it's about legacy. You stacking bills or building empires. You reading signs or stuck reading headlines. It's time to elevate, knowledge reborn. Feel me? Shout out to Shy Bliss, Mama T. Hey yo, I came from the dirt where the lost ones lurk. Now I channel Sirius when I put in this work. From the street lights to the starlight, knowledge divine. Got the whole zodiac mapped out my mind. 777s when I shuffle, every move is a line. Had to break free, cut the chains on my mind. You see they trap us in illusions, keep the wisdom diluted. But I'm building like the Moors did, all black suited. Running numbers like Pythagoras, adding up digits. Turn a cipher to a temple, got the ancestors with us. This that Pharaoh flow, deep like the metronome. Boom, bap, quantum math, every bar set in stone. We was born in the fire, raised in a storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge reborn. We was born in the fire, raised in a storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge reborn.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Shy Bless, aka Mama T. I'm in the building. Let's go. We are about to set this thing off today. How y'all doing out there? How the people doing out there? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. We about to do some real big things here today. We about to listen. I don't think y'all ready. I don't think y'all ready for what we got going on in here today. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. You know how we do it. If you organic to the earth,
Queen of the lands, call me Mama New. Watch me expand.
Put them globes up. If you know if you're organic to the earth, put them globes up. If you know you did not come over here on no slave ship. You know your people been here from eternity. My voice is muffled. Damn, about to get my shit going. I'm over here jumping around and shit. My voice is muffled for real. Put a one in the chat if my voice is muffled. Or no, hold on. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. It's fine. Well, thank you. See, I was on the roll. Here y'all go messing my vibe up. I got to do the shit all over again. Okay, check it out, y'all. Once again, if you know that you did not come over here on no slave ship, that your ancestors been here from eternity, put the feathers in the chat. Put your feathers up. Come on, put them feathers up. Listen, I want you to know one thing tonight. We're going to have a great time. Show respect. Show love to one another. Okay? Make sure you have some decorum about yourself. So once again, everybody, welcome to the Stella Maris Podcast. Tonight, we are diving into some real ancient knowledge, the kind they don't want you to know about. The lost wisdom of Atlantis, Tartaria, the Moors, the celestial codes hidden in the Americas. You know, like they say, as above, so below. Are we a physical reflection of everything that you see above us? Is the earth round or is it flat? This ain't no watered down history lesson, baby. Tonight is an activation. I'm your host, Shy Bliss, aka Mama T, and tonight I am joined by some powerful, divine, masculine kings who are here to talk about and take us on a journey through the ancient realms, lost civilization. Some brothers got some cosmic inventions. We're also going to talk about a little bit of the cosmic invasions that may have happened on this realm in which we exist in. Are there lands outside of us? Are all those lands planets above us? We're going to tap into this conversation. Was Atlantis really in the Americas? Did America predate Egypt? What's in them Grand Canyons? Is the truth about Tartaria, our ancient civilization? Was there a reset? The hell goes on here? What about them sacred mounds? Are they connected to planetary alignments? As a reminder of who we are down here and what we connect to up there or over there? Yeah, we're going to tap in. Moors, Annunaki, Yakub, all of them playing a role in rewriting our history. And let's not forget, Tiamat was here long before all them got here. So tonight we are peeling back the layers and reclaiming the truths that have been hidden for far too long. So sit tight, grab your sacred tea. We about to get into it right after these messages.
Peace and positive vibrations. Welcome to the portal as you enter into the world of the sacred. It starts with a pour, slow, intentional, steam curling like whispers from the ancestors. We don't just sip tea, we build legacies. We're in alignment. This is a vibration you can feel, touch, taste, and smell. The ancients knew. They sit to awaken, to dream in technicolor, to open the third eye, to use the realms unseen, to tap in. Blue lotus, born from the Nile, kissed by the moonlight, woven into the mystic hands of time, infused with mango green and peach oolong, apple, hibiscus, ginger, a blend of the body, soul, and spirit. And now it's yours. Hand blended, small batch, crafted with intention. 'Cause when it's gone, baby, it's gone. Because real magic ain't mass produced. One drop at a time. How we flow. It's a vibe, sacred tea, baby. So don't wait, tap in, sip deep, and let this moment be a ritual, a return, a renewal. SacredTea.net. Let's get it. Claim your cup. Sacred tea. Before the last drop is poured.
Sacred tea. Sacred tea.
Yeah. Make sure you cop those teas at SacredTea.net. There's one more announcement that I have to make before I forget, and I do not want to forget. Now, this summer solstice, it's going down. Houston, Texas. If you don't know, now you know. Check this out. I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and sign up for the Quantum Fest 2025 Summer Solstice, June 21st to the 22nd in Houston, Texas. The location will be announced. This is where science drop knowledge, metaphysics sparks magic, and 5D ascension takes place. We got your special guest with Dr. B Serious in the building. I am God Frequency, strange wordplay, me, myself, and Mama T. My sister Yaya 777, performances by Time Phoenix. Elroy will be in the building and much more. So make sure you go to quantumfest.net and you sign up. We're looking for performers, speakers, vendors. And if you want to be a presenter, you want to sign up now. Tech heads, innovators, we call them scientists, inventors, natural healers, astrologers, numerologists, artists, food trucks, holistic entrepreneurs. Bring your magic to the people and showcase your craft. You want to sign up today. quantumfest.net. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure y'all get on there. All right, now, so without further ado, I'm going to bring on my first guest. Now, this brother lit up TikTok, talking about rolling the corn. We was like, what you talking about with this rolling this corn stuff, brother? This brother was talking about sacred mounds all across America. Not only just talking about it, this brother got in his car. He's traveling. He's going to these places. He's unveiling them. He's showing you. He's walking up the mound. You hear me? Like the king he is, standing there, letting you know what's the deal, what's up. Bringing to the stage, no more further ado. I got to bring my brother. We know the truth now. He's in the building. What's good, brother? Oh, my God. This is,
Peace to the
I'm
gods and goddesses, man. I appreciate
I
everybody
say
in the chat. Peace to everybody. I love y'all, and I'm in love with you because I know what
yes,
kind of
sir.
people you are. The people of Mary. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Thank you for putting me up here to speak to the people. Thank you a
Oh,
lot.
honey, the honor is all mine. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Look, you hit TikTok like a storm, baby. You came in there
Thank
bringing
you.
this information, bringing your own slogan, talk about rolling the corn. You got everybody throwing corn emojis in the building.
Roll the coin, roll the coin.
Woo! For
We know
those
the
who don't,
truth now.
we know that. Oh, I love it. You was hitting us with like 30-second video. Like, hold on, who's this guy? No, we need some more of this. You can't be just tapping us and then walking out. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
you
For
right.
those who
You
don't
right.
know, introduce yourself. Let people know who you are, where you came from, and a little backstory about yourself.
Okay, we know the truth now. My real name is Brian, y'all. So I want y'all to know that because everybody call me Truth now. So I just kind of took
Hey,
the name Truth, but my
yeah.
real name is Brian. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, and
Ooh,
I got into the
Mississippi.
knowledge. I got into the knowledge because of my great grandmother, and she used to take me to a tobacco field where she owned um a lot, maybe like 8 acres at the time when I was young. But our family had hundreds of acres of tobacco fields in a small town called Fannin, Mississippi, right?
Wow.
And every summer she took me back there, and there was a mound in the tobacco field. And I used to always ask her, why is that there? And she was like, that is your ancestors. Our ancestors are buried in the crop field, and we still own the land where our ancestors are buried. So that's why I got so enticed by mounds and things like that because of my
Mm,
great grandmother showed me that
okay.
on our land. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So was that like past? So this is your land that you have in Mississippi. And when
Yes.
she told you this, you were inquisitive about it. So when did you start doing your deep dives on them?
After I saw the mounds, and she taught me about how to grow tobacco and to the moon alignments and to the star alignments,
Oh,
and
really?
yes, it was deep. I was young at the time, and I didn't really understand all of it. So as if she passed away a couple of years later, and I just got deep into the knowledge because I wanted to really understand what she was teaching me because it was so powerful what she was
Right.
teaching me at the time. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So are you still in Mississippi now?
I actually live in Georgia now. But
Okay.
we still on that land where my ancestors are buried at in a mound.
In the mound. In the
In
mound.
the mound.
So when she told you that your ancestors were in the mound, like this is from
Mhm.
did you just look at that as something personal? When did you broaden that, like, wait a second, this is something sacred that's all over the country. This is like something that we've done. Right? When did you come to that realization about it?
When I got a little older, I first seen the mounds when I was like 9 or 10, and
Hmm.
I didn't understand it at all. So when she passed away when I was 15, so my journey started when around after she passed around 15, and I noticed that there were mounds all over Mississippi, and they always told us Native Americans built these mounds, and by history telling us Native Americans built the mounds, and
Right.
my great grandmother telling me that those are your people in the mounds. I had to do research on it and try to find out if this is just our culture on our land the whole time, and it just sparked a fire in me to just from her to the mound and all the way up until I just wanted to let everybody know this because this is vital information in our history. And it's not
Right.
showing that we come from Africa. It's showing that our people had ancient Kodesh, that is ancient holy land all over the southeast of America. And I wanted people to know this. So I just started my journey just researching and giving people little small bits of information about it.
Awesome. Awesome. So when did you start going on tour? Because I remember, you were showing some videos like you were going on tour, hitting different spots. What sparked that?
So after I learned about my ancestors being buried in the mound. I started studying them, and I started seeing different star alignments, the
Mm,
same star alignments as if pyramids are aligned in Egypt. Mounds are aligned with the same star alignments in the southeast of America and in the Mississippi Delta and the Mississippi River in Georgia and Alabama and things like that. So once I found out that mounds are aligned with Arcturus, that is the old Sirius star. So before
mm,
Sirius was the main star, Arcturus was the main star. So that shows me how long the mound building culture in America was mapping out the morning star or the bright star because it switched from Arcturus to Sirius. So
mm,
LSU mounds, those are the first ones I really went deep into because they were saying they was 11,000 years old, and when you do the math, that's like 2 times older than Egypt. So those mounds are aligned with Arcturus, that is the old morning star. So it just made common sense that the culture here was aligning mounds with the Sirius star in the sun 5,000 years before Egypt.
mm,
And that's kind of showing where the knowledge started. And then I got a little deeper into the knowledge, and it all comes from agriculture. The basis, like a lot of great things happen after that, but the basis of the star alignment and the all-seeing eye and the spring and summer solstice comes from agriculture to feed our civilizations in ancient times. So
right.
I just like to go around to the mound complex and showing people the different stars and the different alignments that these mounds in the southeast have to do with our culture.
You know, there's a brother, shout out to the Earth Speaks. He talks
Yeah,
about the Sumerians, right? And the
yeah,
what's the Milfa system? What is it
yeah.
called?
Milpa planting system.
Milpa
Milpa
planning
planting
system,
system.
right?
Yeah.
So now that was interesting to me. Now, do you share the fact that so he's talking about Sumerians. So are you saying are you do you agree that these Sumerians, is this Mesopotamia or is this here? Because they're
Okay.
showing these depictions of them and the systems, right? So he's looking at how we thinking that they're pine cones, and he's actually
Yeah.
saying that it's corn, right?
Yeah.
And then when he shows the
Yeah.
squash and he shows the whole system, the system of growing and gardening, right, connecting to what you're saying. But
Yeah.
these are some. We're told that these are Sumerians.
Yeah. So the information he says about the Sumerians with the corn, with the hawk head
Yeah, yeah,
shell or
right.
whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, let me break all that down. Now this gonna
break
get
it
deep
down
real.
for me.
This gonna get deep real fast, y'all. Y'all gotta listen to me real thoroughly.
Yes, sir.
The Sumerians, the when people talk about the Sumerians, they talk about them as an entity of aliens or entity of different beings from other places in Samaria. But the whole time, the ancient Sumerians are mound builders. See, that's
Mm,
what people they don't connect the knowledge. Sumerians built tails. Tails are mounds, right? Aligned with the same stars that are aligned in the Mississippi Valley and the same stars that are aligned in Egypt also. But here's the catch. The Epic of Gilgamesh and the Sumerian tablets is talking about the sun and the stars going around the zodiac, right?
mm-hmm,
That's the same teachings of the mound builders of North America. So what we have to understand is somebody came to Mesopotamia with this knowledge.
mm.
They
Okay.
say and your topic is perfect today because you say Atlanteans,
Yes, sir.
right? Sumerians and Egyptians have the same starting stories. Somebody came with knowledge of agriculture, astrology,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
structure building. And
Mm.
structure building. See now, that's when the corn come into play.
Okay. Uh,
You go ahead. You got
No, I said, okay, let's roll the corn, honey. Go
that's
ahead. Don't let
that's
me
when the
into.
corn come into play. See, the corn teaches us the history of the world. If See what people don't know about Sumerians are they have ancient tablets with them growing corn all over Mesopotamia, irrigating the rivers of the Tigris and the Euphrates, just like the Mississippi was irrigated thousands of years before they started. So the list of kings of Sumerians, either they're descendants of people from here or they just
Mm,
come directly from here because
mm,
they are growing corn to the star alignment, building mounds, just like the ancient culture of North America and South America, right? Y'all research the Nineveh corn tablet. the Nineveh corn tablet is showing that the Sumerians grew corn in Mesopotamia, and that they used astrology. The spring equinox is for the sowing or the planting of the corn, and the summer solstice is the harvest of crops. So really, I'm not gonna say corn the whole time because they was growing all type of crops at the time, but
Uh,
spring is for this where you get sow a seed from. You reap what you sow from. You sow
hmm
in the spring and you reap in the harvest, right?
Right, right.
And they were using the Sumerians used moon alignments, right?
hmm
And the North American mound builders also use moon alignments. So that's where you get the Islam crescent moon and morning star from.
Yeah.
That's the first knowledge of that is coming from the mound builders. So the Sumerians were mound builders who came to that area, taught about the
From the
Sirius star from
from the
here
Americas. Yeah.
because
Okay.
because they planted corn in the Tigris and the Euphrates River. They irrigated that river just like the Mississippi.
So corn is native or natural over here than it is over there. It
Yeah,
was
it's
bought from
native
here
here.
over there. Okay.
And
All
what's so
right.
important
Because
about corn is it is a hybrid plant.
mm,
So therefore, somebody had to put that science to put that plant together so it just don't grow in the wild. So it shows that people had to bring it to certain areas of the world.
I see. So this kind of reminds me of like Tahuti a little bit, the Emerald Tablets. Like this is so there's a
Yeah,
thing, right? Some people are saying, before back in the day, I started out as a hotepa. Okay, this is a long time ago. Before
yeah,
I made the connection that wait, hold up, there's something to this. Like we from hold on, wait a minute. Like we're trying
something
to
to it.
adapt to something over here, right? And there's to keep us away from looking at from what's right here. Until I got
Yeah.
my hands on the Emerald Tablets. This is,
Hmm.
about 10 years ago. And there was something in the Emerald Tablets where he was like, where they left Atlantis and then they went to the land of Chem, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
they got us thinking that you started over there. So you left from
exactly.
one place, right? And you went to another place. So when I hear, that, when you say that the Sumerians bought that information, either they started from here or they bought it here, you're always finding this connection or this correlation of a group of people that left this area and came over there, right? And
Yeah.
how I started to make the connection with where's Atlantis, because everyone knows Atlanta, right? But and we
Hmm.
try to make the correlation, and then there's the Atlantic Ocean. So there's something that connects us over here,
Hmm.
right? Georgia is on the coast. So my question was,
Okay.
Tahuti, or Thoth, they call him, was an
Hmm.
Atlantean, right? This is what he states in his book, according to the book, right? We don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know who wrote it, but according to the book. So, do you think that the Americas was the original area of Atlantis?
Yes, 100%.
So tell me.
Because let me give you a couple of things of the research. Mesopotamia and the Nile River, tho- those areas of the world are desert areas. They don't have enough water to flood, so a flood story coming from this area is just out of the question. That's just really common
Mhm.
sense. The Mississippi River has flooded over 1,000 times. Amazon River floods 1,000 times. Mayans have murals on the wall showing them in boats with animals and kids, like the Noah story. Um, every tribe in America knows about the flood story. The flood story came from here, and the story carried over to there. And when it got over there, they used Aquarius zodiac as the flood marker in Samaria and Egypt. So happy, the god happy in Egypt, Hapi is the water bearer Aquarius um representation in Egypt, and in Samaria I can't think of the name of the god, but it's a water bearer. So they used Aquarius zodiac in the sky to depict the flood that their ancestors
Mhm.
or somebody had brought over there and told them that. It didn't
That's
really
interesting.
happen there.
Uh-huh.
It didn't really happen there. The people brought it there with the knowledge. So America is Atlantis. Lake Titicaca or Lake Texcoco in Mexico has an underground, an underwater city in the lake that
Mhm.
is they say that is the base point of Atlantis. This is right outside of the pyramids of Thoth and the sun and the moon pyramids. And
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look like we lost you. I don't have damn, this shit was good and good. You see what happens in the world. Always messing with us. All right. Well, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring on strange wordplay. All right. I think he dropped off. So I'm gonna bring on the brother strange wordplay because to see if he wants to piggyback off of what he's saying. So without okay, he's back. He's back. Hold on one second,
You
bro.
can
Hold
bring
on
him
one
back. You can
second.
bring him on and let him finish his wisdom.
Yeah, well, let me bring him out, bring him back. You got kicked off. I was getting. I said, hold on
okay,
now. You had a good point you was making. So continue. I didn't
okay,
want to.
so Mesopotamia and Egypt don't have enough water to flood, so the flood story doesn't come from there. The flood story comes from a place with lots of water, um, lots of rivers, lots of islands, and oceans around water. So the flood story comes from America, and like I said, the Mayas have stories just like Noah and the story the Popol Vuh, which that is one of the same stories as the Epic of Gilgamesh story has the flood, and it happened on that land. So Atlantis is in America. The star alignment started for agriculture in America. That's where you get the Sirius and Orion and the Pleiades star system from. All of that comes from aligning these stars up for different times of the year for agriculture. It went to other places around the world. Those were the Atlanteans. Um, and so-called Hebrew teachings came from the mound building culture who done it, who created this star alignment for agriculture. And I really believe it started in America because it's the oldest place that I find it in. So Atlantis is here. We
Okay.
sitting on Atlantis.
Well, it's interesting you say that because the big mystery that they blocked off that this information has come to the light a few years ago was the
hmm
Grand Canyon,
Yeah,
right? And the artifacts and things. There's temples there, right? You can see pyramid. You can see all kind of shit over there, right?
exactly.
And so you can see there was some sort of ancient civilization over there. Then you also see that there's cities and towns and names that are over here that are over there on the other side of the world, right?
Exactly.
Like Utah, they'll say that's Judah and all of these different things. There's little Egypt here. There's all of the Memphis over
Yeah.
here, that go all the things that go along the Nile. So there is some sort of they want you to think that we're mimicking what's over there
Yeah.
as opposed to what actually this is where the origins is, and also to hide, I guess, if they have to go through all of that, the mystery is the people that are here, right?
Yeah.
The native people, right? So there's been an identity theft at the same
Yeah.
time. Now, before I bring on the next guest, I wanted to ask you your thoughts about
Mhm.
Tartaria. Like,
Okay.
what is this another part of our ancient civilization? How does this tie into all of this?
Okay. What people don't know is our culture evolved to get more intelligent and more intelligent and more intelligent.
Mhm.
People think mounds and pyramids and Tartarian buildings don't have the same background. They do. It started with mounds. It went to pyramids and temples into Tartarian buildings. The reason I know Tartarian buildings come from that same stock of teaching, because people don't understand about the green man. On the front of Tartarian buildings, you have the green man. That is a representation of the resurrection of the spring. If you know anything about Egypt, Osiris is a representation of the
The green,
spring.
yeah, and
The
he's the green
green
man as
man,
well.
vegetation, but he's green because of vegetation. These
Okay.
buildings are aligned with the spring equinox because that is the beginning of this. They call it the real New Year, but they also call it the resurrection of the earth, the vegetation of the earth. So when you put the green man on front of a Tartarian building, it's the same teachings. It just
Ah,
evolved. It just
okay. I got you.
evolved more. So our people also built the Tartarian building because they are also aligned. I got a video on my page showing Catholic churches, which they stole it from our ancient
The
culture,
cathedrals, yes. Yeah.
cathedrals align
Hmm.
with the summer solstice, hidden crops on the floor. The sun comes in
Wow.
on the summer solstice, his crops on the floor. That building was already built before they put a church there. It was already there for the summer solstice of our ancient culture, and it also has a representation of a Osiris or a maize god or a new type of
Mm,
deity on the building. So our people
that's
also built
interesting.
Tartarian buildings.
I used to live in DC for about 2 years, and I used to work. Actually, I had to work in DC,
Hmm.
and there was a. I used to see the alignment, 16th Street, right? 16th Street
Yeah.
in Washington D.C. that goes to the White House, right? And if anybody ever traveled to visited D.C., the streets in D.C. are laid out totally different than they are anywhere else in the country, right? It's like they run parallel, and then there's these little roundabouts, and then parallel and more roundabouts. So it's like they're on these different. They look like nodes, right, going out. But on 16th Street, along there, they have cathedrals, right? And every day, when the sun rises, it goes up over. I think it's. I don't know if it's the White House. Like the way it's hooked up, you got. I think the monument on one end and then the White House on another. But anyway, where the sun rises, it's like the sun creates this beam of light that shoots right down 16th Street, and then they ring the bells, right? Then down there, like they would ring the bells at 12 noon every day, right? They ring the bells as when the sun reaches a certain point. And I guess when the sun goes down that street, the reason I won't say the reason why, but most churches have stained glass windows, right? And so when that
Exactly.
sun is hit, it seems like they illuminate or they activate. And the technology is coming from, I guess, the Tartaria, because all them buildings are Tartarian. They just reoccupied them. They ain't built shit. We all know. Like now we know, but because they're
Exactly.
so ancient. And when you look at the old footage of the 1800s when they showing them in horse and buggies, you got these sophisticated buildings behind them. So you in a sophisticated building with these antennas all over the place, but you in a horse and buggy that were already aligned to planetary movements and the movements of the sun. And so that kind of I wanted to tie that into what you were talking about. And there's one thing I wanted to ask you, one more thing. You had a video out about heroes,
Yeah.
and you were saying that the heroes that they're depicting in movies
Hmm.
are actually our ancestors that they're talking about. And you said you had something for the sun. You was talking about the Skywalkers. You were
Yeah.
talking about all these different characters. Touch on that a little bit for me.
Okay. The word hero comes from Haru ideology is kind of like the representation of it in Egypt is Horus. Haru, the falcon-headed god. Um, so we wrote a story about hero twins. Our ancient culture wrote a story about hero twins. That's how I know the Sumerian teachings come from here, because the Epic of Gilgamesh is the same hero twin story that the Mayans have, that the Olmecs
Mhm.
have, right? It's the same story. Stars fighting different gods of the zodiacs going around. But see, if you're not deep into the knowledge, you think it's some type of real story. See, our ancient culture put things in code so we can understand it. If
Yeah,
you can
in fact,
understand it, you will literally think a hunter is chasing a bear in a story, but really our culture is telling you Orion the hunter, the
with the
star
bear, right?
constellation,
Yeah,
is behind Ursa Major. But if you're not connected to it, that's not your people's knowledge. You tell they end of the story, but we tell the real story to our people. So
interesting.
the once we understand the star constellations, we can break down knowledge of our ancestors down to the point to where can't nobody tell us nothing that is not real, right? So Haru is hero. The hero twins fought against the Scorpion Man, which is Scorpio. They fought against the bull of heaven, that is Taurus. They fought against different, and they tried to change that
Different
into like some
constellation.
constellations, and
Yeah.
other people think they're really talking about these people are fighting monsters, but they put that in movies. They
Yeah.
put that in movies. Optimus Prime is named after Orion's belt. Like I said, the video, Luke Skywalker is the sun going around the zodiac. That is, the sun is the Skywalker. Atlantean, the fish part of Atlantean, the Sumerians have the fish god, the Dagon. Dagon means corn, people. See, we got to stop playing with the knowledge. If you're
Is
gonna
that
name your
right?
culture, if you're gonna name your culture an American crop, where did the knowledge come from? We can't just look over that like they named Dagon. Dagon is corn in Hebrew in different languages. Just like
Oh, man.
Makkah. Just like Makkah. The pilgrimage to Mecca
So what is the
is that's the
significance of corn?
significance is it's a hybrid crop that comes from this land. So if a culture across the world is praising corn, obviously somebody who knew about corn brought it to them.
Yeah,
They didn't
that's what
know
I'm trying to say. What is it about? It's a hybrid crop, but it must have some kind of spiritual
it.
significance.
It fed ancient cultures way faster than any other crop. It fueled the people. It fed enough people to build the pyramids. It fed enough people to build the pyramids in Peru and Mexico. It fed the people of the Mississippi. Corn changed the world because it grows so fast and it's so hardy, and you have a great, y'all, I know y'all heard of a great harvest or a good harvest, abundant harvest. Corn
Right.
is an abundant harvest crop that can feed all of my family all through the winter, and we don't have to be hunter gatherers no more. We can get fish out the Mississippi and eat corn out the crop field, and we're not running around trying to hit something with a barbarian. So
That's true.
civilizations started with corn.
Yeah. But I'm sure also corn also has a technology to it. Don't they make? Can't they make fuel from corn, or
Make
this thing
fuel.
you can make from corn as well? So for it to be traveled to all these vast places and always in the middle of some form of symbology, right? I'm
Exactly.
sure if we get deeper into the metaphysics of it, I know we were eating it. It does feed us and fuel us, but there has to be something about it because it's like gold. If you really look at
Yeah.
it, it's like a form of gold. So I'm gonna bring on our next guest. This
Okay.
brother here, honey, he be getting kicked off of TikTok more than he kicked on because he's dropping a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. This brother knows about health and wellness. He's a scientist, right? He is an astro traveler. I think he spent more time in the astro than he does on planet Earth. Welcome to the stage, everybody, my brother. Once again,
I say, peace, peace, peace and love, peace to the collective.
thank you. Strange birthday in the book. Damn, this shit long.
I just want to say, yeah, man, I appreciate they showing me a lot of love. I see.
Yeah.
But no, what the brother was saying in reference to corn, it was confirmed that extraterrestrials actually brought corn to the planet. The Hopis actually spoke on being introduced to corn from extraterrestrial biological entities. All right. And then guess what? After then they seen corn, they started putting cornrows in their head. Actually trying to copy what they were seeing from the extraterrestrials. You feel me? So corn is a very significant plant. Now, just to kind of, I don't know if you want to ask me questions, I can dive right into it.
Go ahead. Shit, you done jumped in. Go ahead, cannonball,
So
baby.
in reference to Atlantis, now I agree. I believe personally that Atlantis also was in America, but I also believe it was more than America. I believe Atlantis was so vast that it was actually in multiple places. So one of the earliest and most known philosophers, Plato, actually spoke on Atlantis in two writings called the Critias and the Triaeus in 360 BC. From 10 to 12,000 years ago. Okay. Now, Plato believed that Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean. His knowledge of Atlantis came from an Athenian philosopher named Solon. All right. That regularly traveled the Kemet around 600 BC. So remember, most of these guys got all of their ancient information from ancient Kemet. All right. So 600 BC, he learned this information going back and forth to Kemet and learned about a civilization that existed 9,000 years earlier. All right. So now keep in mind, you got Plato, you got Pythagoras, who created the Pythagorean theorem, all fascinated by this ancient Kemetic science from Atlantis. All right. So now they all getting together, they all congregating amongst each other. All right. And Plato had connections to secret organizations and various occult brotherhood initiates. All right. That's one thing you want to remember. Plato also had access, gods and goddesses, to the Library of Alexandria, which was located in ancient Kemet. This library was burnt. All right. They had all our ancient science from Xylanthia, all our ancient information from the Biru, all in the Library of Alexandria. All right. And this is one of the reasons it was burnt. All right. And also the Library of Timbuktu. Now, keep in mind, because all our cosmic celestial knowledge was kept there, it was a huge library with vast information. Now, there was a clairvoyant individual named Edgar Casey. All right, a clairvoyant psychic that could see past, present, and future timelines that stated the Library of Alexandria was actually created by the Atlanteans. All right,
is that right?
In 10300 BC. So the Atlanteans is actually responsible for the Library of Alexandria. That was extraterrestrial information. All right, and this is one of the reasons why the government couldn't have it here, why they eradicated that information. Now, according to Plato, Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is said to be the Strait of Gibraltar, which is a narrow strait that connects to the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. All right. And it separates Europe from Africa by 7.7 nautical miles, which is the God number. All right. So, and then which ironically, again, it's the God number. Atlantis was literally 1 million years ahead of us technologically. All right. And they, about 12,000 years ago, they say Enki was the king of Atlantis. All right. And we're going to get into some more information here. Now, this here is going to be a little bit cosmic. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Annunaki and how they tie into it. All right. So there's a story in Numia Lish about a Rushka girl who was a daughter of Enki. He was Enki's eldest daughter. All right. Was associated with an organization known as the Dark Brotherhood. They practice nefarious necromancy and mixed humanoid genetics. Typically, you see a lot of these Egyptians with the cattle bodies and stuff. This was done through different eugenics testing and experimentations that the Dark Brotherhood was doing. Okay, they was heavily into splicing and genetic mutations with animals and hybrids and different things. Even now in Japan, they
so hold on. What was this? This was going on here.
This was going on in Atlantis. This was going
in Atlantis. On. Okay.
And now here the science. Now check this out. So a Rushka girl basically used the Atlantean magic, Atlantean science for dark, nefarious purposes. So just like you have yin and yang, you have light and dark. A Rushka girl was taking the same science as the Enki had. Because now hear me out. In Atlantis, they had quantum rejuvenation chambers. Literally, they could step in and regrow limbs. They can have an arm cut off and grow in this quantum rejuvenation chamber, regrow a limb. They can actually switch bodies. Dolph the Atlantean was switching bodies. You know, he came back as Hermes.
Yeah, I heard. Right, he speaks about that in his.
He was switching bodies, all right, because they had this type of technology that was super advanced, way more advanced than what we have now.
Could this be the reason of their destruction?
Well, listen, here we're gonna go a little bit. So, a Rushka girl, she had nefarious connections with the Dark Brotherhood. So, Inanna, Enki's other daughter, she knew what Rushka girl was doing. So she went down to the underworld, the way the story go, and she went to war with it. Because now Enki is also Poseidon. Okay, so tie in the two. When you get the Poseidon, the trident, because these Annunaki had technological weapons. For example, Marduk had a weapon called the Hulu, which can manipulate wind. Enki had a trident where he can actually, like you see Aquaman with the trident. This is Enki. He had the ability of manipulating water with technological devices like the trident. All right. And when a Rushka girl basically went to war with Inanna, the story goes that a Rushka girl basically killed Inanna. But Enki had the ability of rejuvenating her or bringing her back to a quantum rejuvenation chamber. But after seeing what a Rushka girl and the Dark Brotherhood did, he realized that information will be put in nefarious hands. So the story goes that he basically flooded Atlantis with his trident, basically to stop the nefarious factions from ascertaining that information from Atlantean science. Basically, it's how the story go. All right, and in that regard. All right, but I mean, there's tons of information.
How'd you come across this? How'd you come across that? How'd you come across that?
That's Numia Lish in regards to that story. All right, in the epics of creation, there's tons of stories on the Annunaki pantheon. Now I got the holy tablets right here. Free Dr. Malachi York. We're gonna get into the beginning portion of the holy tablets where he actually talk about.
Hold on. Woo! Hold on, y'all. I told y'all now. This one here. He get on here.
All right, so now
hold on, Strange. Hold on, bro. One second. Hold on, take it because you hot. Now you
my bad.
No, it's good. It's good. But take a deep breath because people in the back, that because some people they like They spinning right now.
I
So
got you. I got you.
no, no, it's cool though because I love it. I could sit here and listen to this shit all day. But I wanted to pause a little bit.
Okay.
I think Brian, you wanted to say something. But
Okay.
when you was talking about, I love how you broke that down about you tying in a lot of the missing blanks about like where was Atlantis, what was this doing, what was it? So this is a whole realm, right? 'Cause a
Allegedly
lot of
Morocco and Spain.
okay, now many of us or told when we think of Atlantis, it's like a mystery place, and there's a lot of tales about it saying that yeah, it was destroyed because they were highly advanced and they would start doing some genetic manipulation with animals and people and doing all of these different things. And some of the stuff that you were talking about, right? And you talked about this war with these two sisters, right? Of Inanna and Erishkigal. And I heard about Erishkigal. She was one of the dark goddesses, right? So you said that she started tapping in and doing some stuff with the Dark Brotherhood, right? Who is this Dark Brotherhood? Like, what is it? What are they a part of? It? They were part of the Atlantis. Hold on, before you go on, because I understand when it comes to Anunnaki energy or stories, we have disagreeables, right? And we have agreeables, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So not all when we talk Anunnakis, everyone isn't, you know, you can look at that from the two brothers, right? You got Enlil and you got Enki. One is agreeable, one is disagreeable.
I got a question.
Right? Go ahead,
Okay.
brother.
Okay. The story of Enki is about him having some type of relations with all his daughters, right?
Yeah.
That story comes from the earth. Enki is the god of the water. So
Of the land, period. The whole land, the land, the water, etc. Like the land and the water.
He's the god of the underworld. Enki is really just a representation of the stars under the equator, the southern hemisphere of stars.
Okay.
And by him, the story of, you have to break real from mythology. The story of him messing with his daughters is the earth, and Ninhursag is the land. So water and land plus Utu, the sun god of Samaria,
Okay.
starts agriculture.
I like that.
You have the stories are, like I said, they are zodiac stories for agriculture.
Like more allegorical in a sense, you're saying.
Enlil is the sky god. That's the god over the horizon. Anu is the equator. And that's why they say Enki is in the underworld, because he is the southern hemisphere word for stars. So I just wanted to put that in. I don't think they're aliens. I think this is human knowledge.
Now, I personally, me on the other hand, I believe in extraterrestrial biological entity. I'm one of those people that to tell you I had transcendental states of consciousness where I actually spoke with beings that wasn't in the human avatar. They actually looked at completely different. They had a completely different archetype. There was what you would deem androgynous. They didn't have a male genitalia or female. They basically indicated they had wings. Listen, let me tell you a story. It's
a lot of mythology in them.
Hold on. I'm gonna need a whistle. Hold on. But I'm gonna let you go, Strange. I'm gonna let you go. But
go ahead.
Well, I had no. But before, one second, I'm gonna let you go. But let me say this before I let you go. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to cut your wisdom, but let me say this on his behalf. I too believe that there are other beings. We are not. I don't think we're the only ones. I don't think
they come from space though.
Well, whether they come from space or beyond the ice wall or wherever it is, all the different lands, I don't think, for me, I could be wrong. I don't have the proof, but I think there's more to it than us. And many of us get different downloads, and many of us do tap into different things, and we have different specialties to bring, because I don't think not one person has the whole story, right? From our genetic codes, you have a story from your code, and we all have different codes in our DNA, right? And because we are here to bring the whole story, but we have to take a look at it, because you're just as passionate as he is, and you can't say one is right over the other because of you don't know what part of the story he's bringing. Now, what we need to do is figure out, how does it work for us today, right? Because I dig what you're saying. See, what's your sign? Brian?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh shit, you my sign.
I almost was born on the summer solstice.
And you in Virgo. So check this out. The reason why I asked this is because now we have different elements. You water, right? And the brother up Strange Wordplay, he's Virgo. He's Earth, right? So the Virgos is a sign. That's Mercury. So you got Mercury in the moon. Of course you're gonna be with the agriculture. Of course you're gonna be with the land. Of course you're gonna be with the ancestors. Of course that's your genetic code. Mercury is going to embody all the knowledge from everything and deliver it as a message, right? Now, if the thing is, something happened. Somebody came here, right? We didn't just, I don't think we just came up like blades of grass, okay? We're all a part of this story. So let the brother go ahead, strange wordplay. You give your interpretation. You break down what you've experienced from your travels.
Well, from my experience, and I understand why some individuals will believe that these entities may not exist. I mean, we always been told you crazy, you wild, you off your that pseudo, etc. Right? But after this crazy experience, I had a crazy transcendental state of consciousness where I actually was communicating with these beings. Now, I'm one of those people that tell you that hallucinogen. The term hallucinogen was coined by an individual named Thomas Brown. All right, and basically alluding to the fact that the things we see are constructs from our subconscious mind, when really in reality we only see 0.35% of the light photon spectrum. We don't see everything around us or hear everything around us. Right. So there's entities in different dimensions. Whether you want to believe in flat Earth, whether you want to believe they inner Earth, I believe in interterrestrials. I believe in all that. I also believe that this world is way bigger than we think. I believe it.
Right. I do too.
It's outside of a firm. I believe it's so much we don't know about that we can't count nothing out. And one thing I also want to say, God, is that we all learning in this age of awakening. It's going to be, you will have a piece of the puzzle I may not have, and vice versa. We all learning. And in this age of awakening, one of the things we have to become children and childlike in order to learn the truth, because we've been lied to about every damn thing. They didn't tell us the truth about shit. Right. So we all got to be like humble and like learning it and getting a piece of the puzzle. Here's what I wanted to say about. Now, Dr. Malachi Z. York, I'm not sure if you're familiar with his teachings, but he teaches a lot about extraterrestrial.
I think we all are.
Biological.
We all are. Go ahead.
Talk the seven thunders. This is what he talked about. I'm gonna read this portion. This very portion of the seven thunders. It said the seven thunders have been recorded by the ancient for thousands of years. By the Hopis, the Yamasi, and the Nawapians have logged these thunders as a sign of the coming of a new planet. Nibiru, the coming of a new era, the sign of the end of a present world ruled by evil, and the resurrection of ancient mysteries of Egypt, Atlantis rising again in the heart of Georgia. He said Atlantis rising again in the heart of Georgia in a place called Wahani. These signs are the signs of the times recorded by the ancient Neteru of ancient Egypt and passed down through time. They are called thunders or the plagues. Now, in these plagues, the Hopis make mention of meeting extraterrestrial beings. Sometimes they also make mention of interterrestrial beings they refer to as the ant people, and they also make mention of these beings that like were reptilian in nature. They call snake brothers. They actually lived underground. And they would come up and they would, like you said, teach them how to agriculture. They would teach them about corn. They would teach them about maize. They would teach them how to grow different things and plant different things. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I definitely believe that a lot of that ancient knowledge we got. Now we talking about Tartaria, we talk about Atlantis. This is ancient extraterrestrial technology that was way millions ahead. Atlantis was about 1 million years ahead technologically than what we are. We can talk about Tartaria now too. We can get into that.
Hold on, baby. Hold on now. Let's talk about this extraterrestrial thing, because when we say extraterrestrial, right, that means basically anything or anyone or any being outside of this realm, right? So
Extraterrestrial astro is what it breaks down to.
Right, meaning that they come from outside of Earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So isn't it possible that a lot of these, what we call extraterrestrial, are actually our ancestors?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because we travel, we're everywhere. Right? Whether I'm gonna bring on Elroy in a little bit, because he has maps, because I have a question about these maps. Anyway, these extraterrestrial, when we say extraterrestrials, we're talking about beings that originated outside this planet. Now, a lot of people have the concept that these beings came here and seeded this planet, seeded us, and did different things, right? Some people believe that we came out of different organisms and cells out the water, right? And then we started what they call morphing or transforming ourselves into these different beings, right? The Domo said, the Domo talk about something that came out the water or out the sky. Every culture has this different connection to what they call God, whether it's extraterrestrial. But when you really look at it, it's connected to something elemental, All right, so I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to let you go ahead and continue. I just wanted to clarify that with people when we talk about extraterrestrial, they're always thinking we're thinking boogeymen, little green Martians, and shit like that. There's humanoids, there's human beings all over the galaxies. There's human type beings. All right, so I just wanted to just set that, make that clear for people like in the back.
Now he was talking. I was talking also about Osiris being green earlier, right? And I wanted to just say something about that. Now, the reason why we was greens and blues, like different colors, is because in ancient times, we didn't have iron. Our skin had magnesium in it before it was replaced with iron. And the oxygen in our metallics is rusted out. This is why certain people are born with Mongolian birthmarks and still born with green birthmarks and blue, because in ancient times, we really were blues and bright greens. Okay, we were different luminous colors. All right, we have more magnesium in our skin.
That's interesting. Now, is that something to do with the oxygen too? Because was this dome always here, or did something what's up in here?
Well, according to ancient texts, the dome was placed over us by the Annunaki, by the Annunaki, by different beings. That pretty much, it's almost like a prison planet in a sense, to some degree. Damn. It's a hydrogen dome. It's basically
my boy gonna bring. This is gonna be good. Ooh,
now, some say you got to go 33 times the speed of sound in order to bypass the firmament. Right, but hold on.
Some say you got to have
Tartaria actually indicates. Well, and here's the thing: when you mention genetics, okay, they talk about, if you're familiar with Credo Mutwa was talking about activating the Merkaba. All right, and certain parts of Africa, they still call the goddesses Merkab, because in ancient stories they state that the goddesses literally flew. They state that we inhabited Mars. We was in Mars too.
We was everywhere, baby.
Spaces on Mars and all that. And the way the story goes is that we actually activated our Merkaba and actually came over to this planet, but we came from over from Mars, but we inhabited that planet also. This is why Marvin the Martian is depicted in blackface and dressed like a Moor.
Facts. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he got the Moor colors on. If you look at Marvin,
he is, isn't he? Is he? Yes, he is.
Marvin the Martian. This is why they put him. They say he from Mars. They show us in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Now, Tartaria, we're going to talk about Tartaria now. Tartaria is another remnant of ancient Atlantis, right? We know they have free energy. All right. We know that. You familiar with a level 0 civilization, goddess?
No, talk to me.
So the Carter
is that like 0 point? Is that the same as 0 point?
Yeah, we're a level 0. We're a level 0 civilization due to the fact that we don't have the ability of sustaining energy off our local star. We still using fossil fuel. All right. When where other extraterrestrial civilizations actually use the star, they can actually ascertain energy right out of the ether by using intricate structures that harness energy. They put mercury in certain places on these cathedrals that harness energy and pull ionized particles right from the atmosphere and have the ability of facilitating electromagnetic energy. All right, now the world fairs are evidence of Tartarian technology. If you're familiar with the world fair, they held huge events. All right, that was constructed and put together very fast, literally within 1 to 2 years. All right, and there was a case of which was called a St. Louis Fair, where there was literally more than 1,200 buildings. 1,200. Ain't no way in 1 or 2 years they built all those very intricate technological structures from Tartaria with Tartarian technology in 1 or 2 years. There's no way. They still can't mimic some of that technology today. All right.
So what happened?
So and also just to elaborate more on certain things, Tartarian music also was a scientific breakthrough for vibration. All right.
Okay.
Is that like they introduced the bells. The Tartaria was the introduction of the bells. The reason they got rid of the bells is because bells have the ability of now certain now this is going to be debatable if you don't believe in reptilians and extraterrestrials, but some alleged the shapeshifters would kind of get distorted out of their shape when the bell would ring. Because the bell has an frequency complex, which is the reptilian portion of the brain that typically is associated with the root and sacral chakra. They said that the bells, that the cymatics will alter the vibration, and they would oftentimes reptilian would be in a human form but shift. They couldn't hold their shape, so they had to get rid of all the bells.
Is that so? So a lot of the bells were held in these cathedrals, and so when you have these new people who are occupying these, the old Tartarian buildings, so that they renamed cathedrals, they used to have bells all through there, right?
And check this out, also, family. They discovered that sound, when structured properly, can rearrange matter, synchronize brainwaves, and even alter human neurological perception. They also designed advanced cymatic musical instruments They had something called the Zolomov guitar. They actually interacted with the body's bioelectric field. All right. So sound waves wasn't only heard, they actually felt the sound waves in a bioelectric field. Not only that, they could stabilize architecture with sound.
Okay. Now that makes sense to me. Okay. Because now you're talking pyramids and things of that nature. Whereas I believe I have I'm more inclined because I understand the power of sound and frequency, and it can distort as well as put things together. We haven't tapped in. So when you said somatics, like when you could take a speaker and you could put sand on speaker and you play certain frequencies, it starts to create certain sacred geometrical patterns on there. So it's the same kind of frequency, same thing. I totally get that. I'm totally with you on that. Absolutely. I can see that. So Tartaria, the frequency, the bells. What happened though?
Well, I mean, there was a great reset. The world, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The world wars, the Great Fire of London, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, and even Napoleon bound up in Russia was all planned. All right, what if I told you all of that was planned, meticulously planned to basically eradicate other remnants of Tartaria, ancient Tartaria? They didn't want us having that, so they would basically create these false events, basically to eradicate remnants of Tartaria, basically.
So let me ask you, who do you think planned this?
I mean, we talking about the 1% shadow government. Now we talking about the dark brotherhood. We talking about
now let's unpack this a little bit. Now you said now let's talk about this. Now let me no, it's cool because you get me amped and I'm trying to be cool with it. I'm over here eating some sea moss and I'm already lit. But anyway, this dark brotherhood. We talking extraterrestrials.
We talking
could they be stemmed?
Sorry.
But this 1% from something. Like who are these dark beings, in your opinion? These dark beings, these dark forces that's coming over here, creating all this disturbances, right? Changing identity, changing the occupancy of Tartaria, creating resets. Who's up there pressing these buttons, in your opinion, and leaving these representatives here in the name of the 1% that's wreaking all this havoc on the planet?
Well, just to piggyback off what the God said, we know the truth. He basically implied that we are basically gods and goddesses. We have superpowers. We are really very powerful beings. Everything you see in regards to these superheroes are predicated on ancient abilities that our ancestors had. All right. So now, with that all being said, the beings that hijacked this realm, we talking about the Cabal. And now you made mention of extraterrestrials, right? Somehow, a lot of these nefarious beings come from the Orion star constellation. All right. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy to some if you're not tapped in with the ETs or whatever.
Bro, just go ahead.
You have Betelgeuse, you have Betelgeuse, Bellatrix, and Rigel. All right. Those are the three beings where the malevolent extraterrestrials derived from. The Greys are also referred to as Remnants, another name, or the Rigelians. All right. These are beings that actually, they went to war. They're from the Procyon faction of the planet. They're from around what you call Procyon. Now, beings from Procyon, it's pronounced Procyon. And these beings are what ancient information say is the Greys actually at one point was beautiful. They looked at humanoid at one point. You may have heard the story of Greys are us from the future. You may have heard that.
Shit. Greys, yeah, I did.
Okay. These are actually the beings from Procyon that they actually had humanoid looks at one point, but then certain technological things that they did distorted their look and actually gave them that look. And this is from tampering with science and doing different things. And this is the same path man is on now, trying to transhumanism, trying to do different things to mess themselves up. Eventually, it's going to lead them on that path. Nuclear war, all of these things actually brought the Greys to where they can't reproduce no more. So this is why one of the things that they are obsessed with is eugenic programs and basically cloning and the Cabbage Patch Kids. All of that whole shit derived from the Greys. You heard the story of the Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yeah. Hold on. You fine for one. Hold on, baby. Hold on. I'm trying to keep up with you because you said a couple of things. I got to put a dog ear in. When you're talking about Procyon, right? Is that in the constellation of Canis Major?
Yes.
Okay. Right. And that's in the same constellation with Sirius.
Yes, that's
and all of those planets you're saying are in that same constellation.
Those three now, according to Dr. York's publication, this is Dr. York's publication in regards to Orion. But other publications like the Anunaki actually also indicate that these same beings derive from Orion. Now, the Dogon tribe, if y'all familiar with the Dogon tribe, all right, Sirius A is Sigitolo. Sirius B is Potolo. Sirius C is called Emiya. All right. The Dogon tribe actually speak heavily on these extraterrestrial beings called the Nomos that actually came down. The same thing with the God said, taught them different things, agriculture, taught them how to grow, taught them how to, all of these beings taught them how to feed themselves. And one of the first things they do is taught them what they actually use with nature. They were very in tune with nature and spiritual beings. All right. Okay. And some of these beings were aquatic in nature. I don't want to talk too much. I know you got the other God coming on.
So you good. No, you good. Because I'm about to bring him on now because this is a good segue to that. Okay. I ran across this video and this is really going to help, tie all of this in a little bit. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we all heard of Dr. Delbert Blair.
Yes. Right? I love Dr. Delbert Blair.
He said something at one time. And he was like, Earth is one big zoo. Right. Everybody here. Right. Everybody on this planet. Now, when you talk about the different wars that were taking place and I'm trying to get to this dark people, right? The reason why I asked you about that and you talked about these different star systems, there was something, this is all, hypothesis. This is nothing real. So story goes that there's a race going around because they need, what happened? Oh shit. What happened?
What happened?
It's freezing up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, well, you can't see me. I don't know what happened to my camera, just cut off. I've been having some issues today.
Tap your camera, just touch it, it might react. That's what happened to mine. It was like a little.
What the hell? This is some crazy shit here. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring on Elroy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see what I'm gonna fix this camera. Okay. See what happened because it just zapped off. So since you can hear me, Elroy, I'm gonna bring you to the stage. This should be right up your alley, honey. You got maps to connect all of this in. But what I was going to say before I blanked out, I guess they don't want me talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it in a damn way. Listen, there was something going on, right? So there's a war. There's a group of extraterrestrials or outside beings that need to they're searching for certain resources. Everybody is looking for resources. There's something on planet Earth that we just naturally make this shit. The Earth just naturally makes certain resources. All right. And so this is why you have all these different beings coming here because of the resources. Some people need gold, some people need oil, and some people need life forces, human beings to feed off us, whether they're draconians, whether they're Anunnakis, whether they're Lyrians, whether they're Greys. Everyone's here. They got a stake in this planet. And the story goes, many of us were made from. No, here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with this. The story goes this. The reason why Earth is not really going to be destroyed the way they think it is, because all the beings that are here have all the genomes and all the genetics from all these extraterrestrial beings. They said we were made like from 22 different races here, and we exist on this planet. So for them to kill us, it's like them killing themselves. So when you said that the Greys are us in the future time, so are the Anunnakis, so are the Pleiadians, so are the Syrians, so are the Orions. And with that, I'm going to bring on my brother Elroy. Come on to the stage, baby. Welcome to the Stella Maris Podcast. I appreciate you. Come on in. And I'm a
peace, God, peace, God.
All yes, right. So introduce yourself.
Bringing me on. Appreciate you. You know the truth. Wordplay. What's up, brother?
I say, peace, God.
Yes, I'm in here with the gods, yes, y'all. I'm in here with the gods. All right, sir. So tell people about yourself. Tell people, introduce yourself. Tell them about yourself, and I'm gonna step off for a second, okay?
Okay. My real name is Leroy. I come from California originally. This journey in the truth for me has been crazy. Because I feel like I have an ability to see things, and I can recreate what I see. Just so much. I feel like my power is the ability to see. I feel like that comes from my parents being both deaf and my first language being sign language. So I think that's a big part of my life is my observation. But yeah, so like I said, I appreciate y'all bringing me on. I'm about to get right into it. Y'all hold on to y'all chair.
Mhm.
All right, so basically, man, I wanted to cover the original war, which was the Lyon-Orion War. Okay, so the Lyon-Orion War was basically you had every animal on this planet, every creature on this planet is indigenous to Earth. It's the original creature of everywhere in the galaxy. Like she said, it's a zoo. It's a zoo that houses all the genetics of every creature in the galaxy. So the Lyrians are like a feline race, right? A feline race. And the Draconians, we know about the Draconians. And they had the Draconians and Orions and the Lyrian feline race, which was an agreeable species, and yet disagreeables. But what happened was, in order for them to create peace, they gave their king to their queen and created the Annunaki. That's how the Annunaki came into existence, was through the Lyran and the Draconian coming together to create the Annunaki species. The Annunaki is a humanoid-looking species, but they're not dark like us. You see what I'm saying? They're not dark like we are, and that's the reason. Let me show you here too. Just based off all the movies I've seen, they're actually a lighter complected humanoid, but they're an advanced humanoid from the Lyran and Draconian. And now Lilith is a primordial Tiamat, right? So Tiamat and Lilith the same thing. She is from the fifth dimension, right? She's not even from this realm. You can't kill Lilith. That's why when they say, oh, Lilith's dead, Tiamat, you can't kill somebody that's not even from this realm. You see what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of black people have magic, and that's where the blackness comes from. It comes from Tiamat. Tiamat's triple blackness, the darkness, where the energy comes, everything comes from. So that darkness doesn't come from the Annunaki. It comes from Tiamat. That's where blackness comes from. The Annunaki are just an advanced race that came here and tried to. This is all just a genetic war going on, right? The Lyrans and the Draconians came together because they was fighting each other because of genetics. They said, y'all not fit to rule the galaxy. We're going to fight about it. So they created a species, came together, got the Annunaki, right? But now you got the Annunaki and you got Tiamat. Tiamat's still claiming this is her realm. She's still claiming the whole entire realm. And then, so the Annunaki have to intermingle with Tiamat to create peace so that they can actually rule the whole galaxy. So when they did that, they created 13 tribes, which is one of them is the African American, and a bunch of other different tribes. You got different types of black looking people. You got Klingon looking people, Draconian Klingons. You know what I'm saying? You got Theon looking black people, you know, because their species is mixing together to create the perfect species, which is the African American. And that's why the African American is the true rulers of the whole entire galaxy, because we have the genetics of every creature in the world. You see what I'm saying? So all the genetics is in the African American man. Okay, so I'm not sure if y'all can see this. I don't know if it's kind of. Let me see. Okay, so right here you have the center, right? This is where everything originates from, and then you got the Anunnaki lands, which is dark. Remember, because I said there's stories in the Zechariah Sitchin where they came to our land and they couldn't take the sun. They couldn't take the light on our district, so they had to wear their suits the whole time, and that's why Inky and his scribe went to the moon, because they didn't like the sun. That's what it was described in the Lost Book of Inky, if y'all read that one. But yeah, so basically, do you see how this district is dark? And also, what is another dark district? The Custodians. And the Custodians are the grays that people are talking about. The people from Orion. And the Anunnaki created these people as like workers. And this is who on the Ijiji. So this is all just a big old giant genetic war. And they had to mix all the species together to create the rulers of the galaxy, because they was fighting too much because of it. They was fighting continuously, and we still was fighting over it. Okay, so I wanted y'all to read this, because there's been a lot of resets since the beginning of what it was actually for. But this book right here, I want y'all to get this book. It's called The Dome and Outer Space Projection, and it says The Great Reset of 1728. Okay, so that was the last reset, 1728. And I want to read this to y'all real quick, just so y'all can see what happened. It says, having lost the war against the Anunnaki, the custodians returned to find their most prized human colony in a state of great technological advancement and rebellion. It says, fearing they would lose control completely, the custodians again joined the Annunaki in a treaty to plan a new reset. And it says the reset was carried out through a great mud flood generated by the Annunaki pyramids combined with the controlled explosions to destroy the great cores in the center of Tartarus. So the Annunaki and the custodians are basically some goddamn haters, right? Because they don't want us to take the rulership of the galaxy. They want to keep resetting us back and keep resetting us because they don't want us to claim dominion. Because we are the remaining children of Tiamat, and this is actually we're actually the rulers of this whole realm. So this is all just basically, and also we have the ability to transcend into the fifth dimension. That's something the Annunaki and the Greys can't do. That's why they're trying to figure out what's the deal about us, because we can transcend to the fifth dimension and they can't, because our mother, which is where we all come from, Tiamat, is from the fifth dimension. They're not from the fifth dimension. You see what I'm saying? They fell in frequency to their realm. So the Lyrans fell in frequency and the Draconians fell in frequency when they used to be at the fifth dimension. So they're trying to find their way back to the higher realms. They're trying to find their way back into heaven, but they can't because they genetically manipulated themselves so much that they had to basically bring it back in with Tiamat. And that's what that war was about. That whole war about Marduk basically coming over there to conquer Tiamat so that they could still have dominion over the galaxy. Because they don't want to give it to us. They don't want to give it to us, man. And this is the cover about Tartaria. When them pilgrims came here, we already had cars and airplanes and boats. Everything was already here. Like they say, the courthouses, the prisons, the colleges, even right here, Wiley College. It's been here. They all been here. The courthouses, everything have always been here. We had cars, airplanes, trains, everything, right? So they didn't build anything new. And so the hydrogen is what we use for fuel instead of gas. Everything was water-based. So they ain't built nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was already built, just like Trump said, we already built America. It was already built.
We already built
America. I mean, you look at people, of course we're indigenous. We're indigenous to America. We're indigenous to the earth. You know what I'm saying? The whole planet. We're indigenous. Right. And it wasn't until people don't understand, this thing about, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mom.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm still trying to get my situation going, but go ahead.
Okay, so the clones, or what they're calling, these Caucasians, were created by the custodians. The custodians created them to basically watch us. So they're and they have the DNA of the custodians, and that's why they don't have them the melanin of Tiamat, because they're not from Tiamat. They're a clone race of the children of Orion, or these Greys, or the Annunaki. You see what I'm saying? But they don't have the blood of Tiamat in them. And then they was cloning, and it's in this, everything's in this book. It describes it. They clone them so that they could actually reset the whole population again, because when we get too high and too strong and too aware, they bring us back down. So they had 7 resets total. Yeah, man. Is there any questions though? I mean, because I could really go into some more stuff on this book, but I don't want to, Okay, let me keep going then. Okay, so let's go back to this map right quick. So when you look at this map here, they got because like the Orion constellation is not on this map. Oh, is it? Hold on. Yeah. So the Orion constellation. So everything, like how they talk about all the zodiacs and stuff. So all the zodiacs would be on this map here. So like I'd have to find it, but every single thing will be on this map. Anything outside of the map would be considered like a land that's not known. Where this map comes from is a person sailed past the ice wall and got to, you can't even see really on this thing as much, but they sailed past the ice wall and they got to a land called the Ancestral Republic. In the Ancestral Republic, they gave them the map of this whole, of what they knew, of all what they knew. So this map comes from the Ancestral Republic, which is a breakaway civilization that tried to escape in 1728. They're trying to get out of this realm. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to leave, but they can't, because Tiamat and her people guard the gate, and Leviathan is in this last circle here, and that's in the book. So basically, they're being punked in, like they're basically being trapped in. They can't leave. You
Real
know, but
quick
another
question.
thing is,
Do you know the author of that book, family?
oh, the author. Let me see.
Yeah, what's that book called? And just get an author and the collective to know.
His author is Claudio Nocili.
Claudio Nocili. And what's the book called?
The Dome and the Outer Space Projection.
Okay, by Claudio Nocili. Okay.
Nocili, and he has also a YouTube channel called Nos Confunding, where they talk about
I'm always interested in this type of information. I never heard about, like, you know, when we talk about the lands and all of that, you know, there's a lot of different debates. What about the Earth, whether it's round, flat, space, no space? Right. And I don't really get into a lot of debates on it really being, I astral projected multiple times and been to different places, but, you know, none of us could really verify exactly until we go. So I don't really argue too much about it. I just say, hey, it's very interesting. I don't deny it. I don't doubt it. I believe it's very possible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that it could be other lands, because they lied about everything. The map and everything is all. Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe that, how does that tie into inner Earth? Do you believe that still ties into inner Earth? And when you go inward, it's still the same way with infinite lands inward also?
I'm pretty sure every land will probably have some type of inner Earth, but I do know that they say that everything starts here in the middle, and we have a black hole that's in our inner Earth. That's the portal. I explain on my channel. That's the portal to get to the fifth dimension. So this whole thing is a third dimensional realm. It's just a third dimensional realm. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to the black hole in the center, you exit out and go to the fifth dimension. That's where Lilith and Tiamat is from. They're from the fifth dimension. You see what I'm saying?
Now I gotta say something real quick. I heard your video yesterday, and you made I listened to a little bit of the snippet that Mama T played, and you may mention that your ideology, you believe Tiamat isn't a dragon. Now, some of the ancient texts actually always talk about Tiamat being a dragon. They talk about Marduk versus Tiamat. Hold on. Now, real quick. Now,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. Now, this is my question about Tiamat and dragon. Is there an echo with me? I'm telling you, I had to get my phone. Nothing working.
No, it's not.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is my question about all the text that says Tiamat is a dragon. Mm-hmm. Everybody a human being, but when it comes to her, she's a dragon. I have a problem with that, because the challenge that I've been getting in regards to that, this planet was occupied with women long before all of these extra beings came here. So when the Annunaki came here and they mining and they need this and that and the other, when you said that someone had to marry her, right? They marry her and they started interbreeding, and then we have all these different races. That did something. That triggered a memory with me, an ancient memory, because I was like, there's no way in hell that this was always this way. And no one could come to this planet unless you invite them in. So there's a dome. Many of you say that we're trapped in here, this and that thing. And this is like a prison planet because somebody breached the contract. All right. There was laws put in place here for us. And somebody breached that for greed, jealousy, dominance, same of the things that we're fighting with today. Now, all of these different books are written by all these different men, but no one's asking women in their genetic code or what they're remembering and what's coming down here. But when you said that Tiamat was a mother, because we are, a lot of sisters, we all acknowledge the great mother. We knew that she was here long before all these extra beings came here.
You gotta come from somebody.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and you had to come out of somebody's womb, absolutely. And then all of these other things started being taken place. Now, when they say she's a dragon, this and that and the other, the same thing that they talk about with Lilith. They demonize Lilith. Those who got a hand of the ancient texts, who rewrote them and remixed them and demonized them. Even in the Holy Tablets, it talks about the war that Marduk has with Tiamat when they came here and they saw the women here. That story of them cutting her up, spreading her all around the sky. Same thing like what they did with Osiris. Cut him up, spread him all over the earth. So you're telling these stories over and over again, right? But I always have an issue that when it comes to that divine feminine great mother, she's some kind of animal. They removed her from the God, Father, and the Holy Spirit. She's a dove. Now, when it comes to Tiamat, she's a dragon. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't dragons, right? And when you look at it, there's connections because you have people that resemble serpent people. You got tribes that call themselves jaguar tribes. You got people who resonate with falcons, right? So these are totems that we use to connect us to the nature of that animal. So I just wanted to say that when it comes to us talking about Tiamat, because from my memory, when I'm feeling, somebody came here, they made an arrangement. When they saw these women here, they was like, damn, fuck the gold. We want a little bit more than that. Now, I'm not saying that men didn't exist in the galaxy, but on planet Earth, it was inhibited by women first. So when you showed that map and them traveling in your video earlier, Elroy, coming over here, and they got with Tiamat, something happened. There was a war. I don't know if it is. There's always these two brothers on the scene in all different paradigms, in all different cultures. There's these twin brothers that got problems with each other. Normally, they could be fighting over a woman. And I'm going to just pause right there and let y'all continue.
Now, as far as the Tiamat thing, it is interesting, and I agree with you saying. They do try to take the woman out of the picture. Yeah, I wanted to say real quick
that, can y'all hear me?
Hold up. Hell yeah, one at a time. First, I want to hear from Brian. You would have been wanting to say something, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, Tiamat is a representation of the great mother, right?
Sure.
Mother goddess?
One of them.
It's one of them, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is the mother. See, what people don't understand is why all these cultures have this mother goddess teaching is because that comes from the original culture of star alignments. The Pleiades has a lot to do with the mother goddess. So when you put Sirius, which is Haru, and you put Osiris, which is Orion, and you put the Pleiades star system together, that is an immaculate conception. That is the mother goddess.
That's interesting.
The child, and you have the see those three entities are the entities that all of these cultures are writing about. The Great Mother has something to do with the creation story, right? The Virgin Mary is called the Virgin Mary because that is Virgo, people. We got to understand that all of this stuff go together. One culture put that star alignment together with the Sirius, the Orion, and the Pleiades star system. That's the Great Mother. Like I said, Haru and Osiris. Different cultures have those three different deities, but all of that is the star alignment of the summer solstice, right? So that's why the Great Mother is always in these stories, because it's the same teaching with different names and deities and different so-called entities from other places. So why is all these entities teaching all these different people the same thing? That's the part of the knowledge.
Yeah, it's kind of like different languages.
It's a basis to this teaching. If it's so many entities coming in and teaching everybody, it'll be different knowledge. This the same knowledge, people.
Absolutely. Just told in many different ways, right? Exactly. But when you're talking about the constellations and they're saying that with the alignments, because maybe, just maybe, that's where they originated from.
Seven sisters, Pleiades star system.
Yeah.
That's all cultures are talking about the same thing. That has something to do with the Great Mother. And they got something to do with the resurrection of vegetation. They got something to do with the Earth Mother is birthing. She shows out during the spring. All this stuff still go back to agriculture. That's what I'm
to nature.
To nature.
Exactly. To nature. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Rob. What was you gonna say, sir?
So we was talking about the seven sisters and stuff. The seven sisters from the Pleiades. That stuff's real too, because the seven sisters actually sent Toph to Earth. You saying to actually do what he was doing, and nobody ever talks about that. That's cold. You talking about that? The seven sisters. What was I talking about? The Tiamat. So basically, Tiamat. I think that Tiamat is the mother of the dragons, right? She's the queen of the dragons. She wasn't a dragon. She was a queen of the dragons. And the dragons are actually around the mountain ring that surrounds our Earth, right? So all the dragons live in the mountain ring, and she's the queen of the dragons, right? And that's where that's where that comes from. It's not. She's not an actual dragon, because they had to marry them to have children. I feel like if she was a dragon, it's something that she could actually transform into and transform into back into her normal form, because she's not a third dimensional being. From my perspective, I think she's a fifth dimensional being because of the stuff she was able to do.
Did you ever see Game of Thrones? So the queen that they had wound up killing at the end. She was known as one of the Queen of Dragons. If you remember that, the one with the blonde hair.
She was the queen of dragons.
Yeah,
exactly.
Said that.
The house of Targaryen.
Yeah,
Targaryen. That's so funny. It sounds like
exactly. Yeah. Okay, Strange, what you got, baby? Because I know you about to unload on us right quick. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say something about the Pleiades. It's an interesting theory about a planet called Planet Chemo, where it's a planet full of ladies. You maybe in that book they may talk about a world called Kima, Kimah.
You was telling me about that the other day.
If you look at the word Pleiades, you see the word ladies literally in Pleiades. All right, and the way the story goes is that ladies, women, the feminine, divine. Yeah, the divine feminine actually derived from Pleiades, and that's where the word "ladies" actually did derive from. It's from Pleiades, and they say that the Hathors come from that planet. All right, now Hathors was the personification of the bull head. They had to stay with solar. They had the solar disc there with the horns that was there. It was the Hathors. All right, and that they allege, according to certain texts, that there was a whole planet full of women. Now I could go a little crazier and say there was also a planet of male beings that was almost the personification of what Hellboy looked like, which are minotaur looking beings. And the way the story go in the text, according to this book and Dr. York's publication, it's a wild story of these beings that are actually maniacal beings, right? That actually go to war over these women. They want to marry a woman from that planet. This is how the story go. And these beings they came to the planet before, allegedly, and when they came to the planet, they were so menacing looking. They modeled the concept of Satan after these beings. The concept of Hellboy with the horns and all that are allegedly beings from a planet from Aldebaran or Aldebaran. I'm not interested. I know it's out there, but there's so many beings.
Someone says I have an echo, and I don't want to have the echo. Do I have an echo?
I don't know. I don't hear an echo.
You don't hear one? Okay. Someone had a question in the chat, and they wanted to know more about the Great Reset. Like, when was the last Great Reset?
All right, so let me. Oh, go ahead. You could touch on it. You said it was 7 resets. I don't want to. Go ahead. You want to touch on the 7 resets?
No, I didn't say that. I said when was the last reset?
No, I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking about the
the brother. Elroy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, the resets. Yeah, they said that there was 7 resets here. They said the first one was in 1189 BC. And then it goes to the last one, which was 1728. And that was the war against the custodians and the Annunaki, and the intervention of the giants that came and tried to help pretty much the Ancestral Republic to basically, they came there to help the Ancestral Republic to try to escape, but they couldn't escape. So they basically pushed them back in, and now they're stuck outside the ice wall, right outside the ice wall. They're right outside the ice wall, but they can't leave. And so that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to basically figure out how to get out this whole district, because they want to leave. Because they know that this realm is going to be given back to the original rulers of this land. You know what I'm saying? Really, the rulers of the galaxy. And they don't want to be here for that.
Now, to touch on my perception of the Great Reset, Tartaria was a reset. The whole Maud flood was a reset. The flood that transpired in regards to the water flood that we hear about, the Epic of Gilgamesh, are another reset. But the Great Reset, the World Wars, all the World Wars was resets. All right. I mentioned the Great Fire of London in 1906, another reset. All right. The San Francisco earthquake, another reset. All of this is associated with remnants of Tartaria and ancient civilizations that they want to eradicate any proof or evidence of. Remember, I told you in physics,
I see.
seeing is touching. If you see something and physics, you're touching it. So once you see those structures and everything, it does something to your DNA. Now, when we talk about Tartaria and we make mention of sound, Mama T made mention of painted glass and things of that nature. And ancient Tartaria, that had a whole crystal home that you could play music in. In a crystal, they got rid of the crystal building, but the building was so powerful, it can heal you just by being in it. They played cymatics in the building. It was all quartz crystal. And they play cymatic frequencies in the building, and it will heal you like almost instantly. People manifest, they neurons in their brain was firing faster and all that just from being in an environment. So they couldn't have us exposed to those cymatics because they heal us and they actually introduce us to certain primordial memories. We might mess around and remember how to build a ship that moves faster than light. We might remember how to open up stargates and things of that nature with the right frequencies. So this is why they got rid of bells and certain cymatics. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But another thing I want to touch on that, Mac.
I wanted to touch on that, what you were saying about the cymatics and stuff. Like, I really feel like they was doing that with the sound frequencies, healing us and stuff like that. And I also feel like they was hitting us with the magnetic field, the pulse magnetic field, because with the pulse of magnetic fields, melanin actually activates from pulsed electromagnetic fields. And what it does is because let's say, for an example, just to explain real quick, you got like a Gauss, right, of a magnet that's super strong, and that Gauss level's 3,000, right? If you put it on your skin, it won't do nothing because that's not how melanin activates. I was trying to explain this on my story. Melanin activates by magnetic energy showering like this through at high levels of magnetic Gauss, the power of Gauss. So basically, I feel like the you were saying too, the cymatics. I feel like that magnetic energy was heavily present too, and I feel like also there's no bathrooms. There's no bathrooms in Tartaria buildings. None of them.
Wow.
We didn't even. I honestly feel like we didn't even eat anything. Like we literally,
he was amongst giants too.
That's another thing they don't talk about.
That's not what we know the truth. He ain't gonna agree with that.
No. Back in the day, I think we did, but as the technology increased, I feel like we stopped. That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
Strange. That's a great breakdown on the resets. That's a great breakdown. The Tartaria was the last reset, and that's a great breakdown on the bathrooms in Tartaria buildings. Those buildings are very spiritual places. That is not a place of living quarters. You go there to be spiritual. You go there to connect with nature and the earth and the ancestors. I want people to study some some solid information about Tartaria. 1933 Chicago. They said, now this is written in all type of books, all type of history, that it was some type of solar panels or energy panels in this building in Chicago, and they used the star Arcturus. The photons come off the star Arcturus and charges up these panels, and this building is grounded. So the photons from the star Arcturus lit the building up during the World's Fair in 1933 in Chicago.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They actually done this in the people's, like right in the people's face to let them see it. And those buildings, like you say, those buildings was collecting energy all day and all night because photons come off the sun and stars. So some kind of way these buildings were connecting photons. And this is a true story about the Tartarian building because they actually done this in Chicago. And they got pamphlets with Arcturus powering up buildings in Chicago, and they lit up strange lights in 1933. So I want people to study that.
I seen your video on it. It was very informative too. I recommend everybody to check his video out on TikTok. He get into real good in-depth information. He showed Arcturus and all that. I watched that video. Now, here's another thing a lot of people don't know about. One more thing.
Go ahead, my bad. Explain this up. When Ben Franklin, I just want to add this on the book. It's a part of the knowledge of it. Ben Franklin put out some type of mythology if he flew a kite with a key and got free energy or electricity, right? But really, that is symbolism for the Boothead star constellation, Because the Boutez is called the kite of celestial stars.
Right.
And the brightest star in Boutez is Arcturus, the same star that lit up the buildings. So that's the real knowledge of a lot of free energy comes from the Boutez star constellation.
Wow. So all that time we got free energy right there. That's really what
free energy right there, the Arcturus star. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's what's up.
That's crazy.
Do you think we'll ever get back to this? Or do we have to wait
we're
for
gonna
this
get back to
great
it because
So before we go to the next question, someone in the chat, they wanted to know, what is a reset?
What is a reset? A reset is when the powers that be remove all information or reset us from ascension. They reset us from ascension technologically. When we're making technological advancements, basically not needing fossil fuel, having the ability to ascertain certain things with more technological prowess, they reset us back and bring us back to the Stone Age, basically.
Damn.
You know? Now, another sign of ancient Tartarian technology is something called star forts, all right, which was geometrically precise formations found worldwide, all right? There was very intricate star-shaped designs that was seen all the way from Europe, North America, and Asia. All right. Typically, there was military devices, but after further observation, they found out that these devices actually were energy hubs. All right, they harness actual energy, and they look like military devices, but all around they're energy hubs. They really harness energy. And guess what? The Delites still use ancient Tartarian technology. They still get free energy. They still use.
I believe that. I would definitely believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So you were saying before. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something else?
Last thing I want to say is all the churches, all the Vatican churches, all the cathedrals are all Tartarian technology, and what they do is they keep mercury embedded in the thing, and that mercury is what actually allows them to facilitate more ether from the atmosphere. All right, and it's all the churches, all the cathedrals, all the Vatican, all of those are they have free energy. All of those are Tartarian technology that they couldn't eradicate. This is why Tartaria was more than just Eurasia and Eurasia. That shit was everywhere around the world.
You know what? Everywhere I go, I see these buildings, right? Even not only just throughout the United States, even when I went and traveled through Mexico. If anyone ever went to Mexico City, this is you find the largest Tartarian buildings there. They'll take up like city blocks. And then they're in all the capitals of all their states and cities. And it's like, no way you guys built this. And they'll say like there's Spaniard architecture or whatever. Like you can tell what was built afterwards. But when you see those, and they look the same everywhere, even the city I'm in now, I'll drive by, they'd be either they're large, monstrous, monstrous, or they are just small buildings, but they have the same kind of peaks, the same steeples, the same antennas at the top, and the brick layout. They're all similar, and they don't look like anything else that's around. So, of course, they're ancient. So, this is a great question. Where the hell these people come from? Okay, because if we were here, we had this ancient civilization. How did they get here? There's a theory that said they didn't get here until 1492. And all the stories and histories that they're teaching us, they're fabricated, right? About their stories and their history, that they actually landed here in 1492. Not just landed in America, but landed on this
everywhere
earthly realm.
And you know what?
I have that.
I believe that, fam. In conclusion, with all of this stuff that we've been going over, I believe Atlantis, Tartaria was really all over the whole damn globe, and they reset everything and said it was just in certain parts, just to try to distort our original perception of how advanced we really was as an entirety. That's my
okay. My observation is you talking about YT people, right? Or
let's just say,
yes, they were here before 1492. That's a fact. Those people were schooled by another people of that area, which I call Moors. A lot of the teachings start with that area of the country, and then those people came up and actually, pushed the Moors out, but then they came here. So what people don't understand is a lot of teachings that come from that culture goes into their culture. They perfected it and brought it over here, and they lay it on thick over here. See, that's what people don't understand.
So here's the thing, right? When we
I'm
talk
gonna touch on
about
that too.
Moors, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it. When we talk about the Moors, right? So for the story goes, for over 700 years, they ran Europe, right? Yeah. And they brought certain people out of the Dark Ages, and they educated them, right?
Yeah.
That means that the Moors, the languages over there. So when I used to say, well, what language did the Moors speak? Because when we go to these different areas, even just through the Caribbean, through Mexico, it's Spanish, it's French, right? Or it's Italian, right? So are they the originators of this language? And how did they get overthrown by some people that they've educated, right? How did that happen? Go ahead, Elroy, you take that one.
Okay, what's it called? So basically, the Caucasian people come from the Caucasus Mountains of Asia Minor. That's where the word Caucasus Asian comes from. Caucasian. Okay, so this is where the origins of the Neanderthals actually from. If you actually go to the mountains of Ukraine and the Caucasus Mountains, you'll see that there's caves still there for the Neanderthals. Those caves are in the walls of the mountains because they was placed there, like almost as if somebody built it for them to live there. Like the Flintstones. The Flintstones, they start off in the mountains. You see what I'm saying? With the dragons and all this and that there. But just to cover about I want to talk about two things. The 1492 thing, you're right. You said that it came, Rashad Jamal was talking about how they came from nowhere.
Yeah, I heard him say
it's because they did come from nowhere. They came from outside the ice wall, Ancestral Republic. That's what they talk about in the book. How majority of the people had passed away on the earth, so they needed to create more people like them, clones. So they create the clones on the Ancestral Republic and brought all the ashes over to everywhere. They started scattering them around to basically reset the whole earth. Now, another thing I want to talk about, which is crazy as hell, is that they added 1,000 years to the timeline. So now check this out. Check this. This really gonna trip you out. Now they added 1,000 years to the timeline. You know what I'm talking about? Wordplay, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that it's not 1492 that Cortez came to America. It's 492. Now check this out. Check this out. Okay. Since you took 1,000 years off the timeline, you got to condense all the history into one, and watch how that stuff fits right into place. So basically, so check this out. Rome fell when? 500 AD. The same time the Dark Ages happened in England, 500 AD, right? And Cortez invaded America when? 8 years before the fall of Rome. You see what I'm saying? You see how all the stuff was happening at the same time. Rome was here, England, America was here. It was all happening at the same time. You see what I'm saying? But what they did was they added 1,000 years to separate the history. See, King Arthur was in 450 AD. That's what King Arthur was. He was a black man. King Arthur was 450 AD. So you mean to tell me 40 years later, Cortez will come invade America? See, you got to take 1,000 years.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's not 1805, it's 805. So it's not, they added 1,000 years to history to confuse us so we can separate the history. But if you take 1,000 years off, you got to condense all the wars and everything into like almost 1,000 years. Everything.
Wow. Let me drop something right quick. Let me drop some gems. See, we don't put the ancient culture into the history. We always start at a certain point in the middle or 3/4 down the line, or we got to start at the beginning. This is the way I look at it. And like I say, people might not believe my view of it. Everything comes from the earth. We downplay earth so much like it's just a piece of rock with no civilization and we just downplay it. Everything comes from outer space. The human body is made up of damn near 100% of earth matter, right? Earth can create different beings from and different features. Earth can create us. Earth can create YT people. Earth can create a lizard type person. Earth can create. That's why these things are flying from under the water. They're not coming down on Earth. They are coming out of Earth. Earth can create different beings. We have to stop taking that out of the knowledge. And like
Yes,
you
sir.
said, and I heard you say something genius, Mama T. You
What
said
I
the
say?
water. You said the water was received, and these single cell organisms
Oh yeah,
start popping up with some type of being.
yeah.
That's what I think happened.
It was
Mm.
called
These
protozoa.
these other beings came way after us, and they were the evolution story of the ape. That really happened, but that's not my story. That's somebody else's story. Because when you go to the Epic of Gilgamesh, it's talking about the wild man coming out of the cave, and somebody is teaching him about the star line and teaching him the knowledge of Earth, the nature, the ancient culture's knowledge. That's why they say the lady taught Inky, the wild man. If Inky is an alien, why is they calling him a wild man? See, the real story is Inky is coming out the cave, and somebody is teaching him some grand knowledge from the old culture. Go read it. It's in the Epic of Gilgamesh now. Go
That's
read it.
interesting. So,
And
are you saying
Yeah, that's why I was
that
kind of
everything?
going over that. Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna let you go, Elroy. Are you saying that everything? This is the starting point of it all, and then it all spanned out from here? Is that
I'm
what you think?
saying a certain people was a natural all the way 100% natural to the earth, and they are
Okay.
they are the Atlanteans, the ancient culture, because they was here
Oh,
longer than everybody else, and they have more knowledge. Cause
knowledge
see
from
what
here.
we just thinking this stuff is just popping up. Mounds, pyramids, temples, and Tartarian buildings are an evolution of a knowledge of a people. These are not different people. These
I
are not
got you.
different.
I feel
This
you.
is one group of people getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and the other people are not as knowledgeable as these people, and they're making these people's knowledge into gods and deities over time.
I got you.
I got a
Oh,
question for you, family.
Okay,
Are you familiar of the war in Nuremberg? Have you heard about that?
yeah, I heard about that before. Yeah,
That was basically that was something to do with Tartaria. Now they alleged that it was 1561, but we know what happened before that. But what they
hmm
said, Mama T, is they seen spaceships and all that blasting shit up. You ask who reset it? I personally
yeah.
believe, based on the story of Nuremberg, is people that actually drew pictures of what they seen. They seen ships, UFO type ships, spraying lasers down and all that. Now we seen what happened in Hawaii when they had the ability of literally, I believe they use direct energy weapons where they can literally, and you heard about people putting Hank blue on their roof, and blue actually repels laser technology because there's something special about blue, the color blue. And this is why and hoodoo, they use Hank blue. They paint their windowsills with Hank blue and things of that nature, and why the evil eye is blue to repel what they call blue hags. So I said all that to say this. They stay just like they use direct energy weapons to actually eradicate Tartaria and cause the mud flood. I believe that here's the thing. With the technology they have with CERN, do you believe that they could do a reset now without having to change anything on a molecular level, without having to come down and change anything? Do you believe now they can just fire a large hydrogen collider and actually create some form of Mandela effect and now shift timelines or
They've
set
been
us
doing
back?
that. They've been
You believe
trying. They've
that
been
that's a
doing
new
that.
way they alter? Because we saying they ain't changed the timeline since Tartaria, but for all we know, they probably have a new way to reset us.
They're tinkering. I believe they've been tinkering with it. But I also think that they also have a timeline that is finite. Like they can't go past a certain point. They understand that everything evolves and everything changes. So if we're talking about processions of the astrological signs, when people say we're all going into the age of Aquarius, right? We're all going into another age. There's certain frequency. These are the resets. This is in my opinion of it. When we switch and go to another age, we change over. The energy changes, the frequency changes, the rulership changes. So there are people who understand that and know that, and they are tinkering with technology to change timelines, to slow down timelines, because once we shift, their rulership is over. That's my
This whole
opinion.
round going to the fifth dimension.
It has
So,
to. Now, this is what I really wanted to ask you, Elroy, because this is going to tie into a lot of things. And I hear echo. I don't know if y'all hear it. If it's not, then I'll just deal with it. That map that you show, can you hold it up?
yeah.
because I want to ask you a question. I'm gonna make you solo. All right, y'all see this this map, right? Now, is this a reflection to what's above us, or is this beneath on this realm? Basically, is this a flat Earth?
Okay, so basically, the lowest part of the Earth, the lowest part of this whole thing is Earth, our realm. Our realm's the lowest. That's why we can see all the stars.
Levels.
Yeah, they're on different levels than us. That's why we can see the stars in their realm, because their whole entire realm is above our realm. So when you're looking at Mars, so you can see the star Mars is because Mars is up a level above us.
Right.
So we're looking at the sun in their district above us. So all that's why all the stars are above us. But if you go to their district, it'll look like our sun. It's not going to be above you if you go to their district.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I always wanted to ask when I see some maps similar to this, is because a lot of maps like that, people are saying, oh, this is a flat Earth. This is what do they say? It's an infinite plane. And we do not go beyond, we don't go above anything, right? So when I saw that, I said, but they're all circular, like spheres.
This here is just the known lands that was given to the traveler by the ancestral public. There is more lands outside of this circle. This is just what's known.
Are these lands or all these planets?
These are these are like planets, but I call them districts because it's not a planet.
That's my point, right? Because they're circular, right? And they're spheric. Some people believe we're on a flat Earth, some people not, but we can see stars. They'll say they're fake. But when you show that map, and it's like how it's spliced, I guess they call that a transverse looking, how it looks, the view of it.
Right.
This is like how the map of the United States that the United Nations have, right? It's like a flat map, but we're depicting it to be a flat Earth, but we're just looking at it from a bird's eye view, I guess.
A bird's eye view, and it's stacked like this. It goes down like that. So when you go to Mars, it goes up.
I got you.
And you go to Jupiter, it's even higher. So that's why you're looking up at the only thing you can see is their star. You can't see their district.
So what you're saying about we're multi-levels, right?
Right.
You ever see the galactic center? How it looks?
Yeah.
Right? It's like a spiral. I wish I had a picture of that. It is said that where our particular galaxy is one of the tail spirals at the end of the galactic center, right? And the galactic center moves. It constantly rotates. And there's a center of it, and then it sprawls out like, I gotta get
water. Like water.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a picture of this because I want y'all to see this. And tell me what you think about this that I'm gonna say. Let me see if I can find. Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna show this right here. Come on, show this thing. I ain't trying to pay for this. Why can't I show the whole picture? All right, I'm going to share the screen. Perfect. This is good. I'm going to share the screen, and I want you to see this image. And tell me if you can see this image. Can you see the image on the screen? I think I'm going to... Hold on. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Now, it is said that the Earth is or our galaxy is somewhere in one of these tail ends, right? And this continues to churn, just like the yin yang sign. Energy goes in, energy goes out, energy goes in. So when we talk about going to the fifth dimension, Earth is very important because of the alignment that it's to certain vortexes or black holes and things in that. So when you ask the question about CERN, do you all believe that they're trying to change timelines, flip time, by using this machinery or this technology? Mm-hmm. Of course they are.
Yes.
Because if this is let's say we're an anchor, like you said, Elroy, we're the lowest form, right? Lowest form, tail end. Who's to say? Tomato, tomato, right? But when you look at these swirls, Are they swirls, galaxies, or do you think they're ice walls?
That's pretty good. I like that.
I know I was gonna get you with that. I was dying to ask you this one.
or that could just be the representation of what the map is. It you know what I mean? Because they just be lying about everything anyways.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna show you another picture. That's really interesting.
Yeah, they just be lying about the whole maps. So if that is the case, then this will be the galaxy then on just without looking through all the dust and how it's, you know what I mean? And it's basically like it'd be set up like that because everything is swirling because it's water everywhere.
Everything is swirling
because
it's swirling everywhere. Are you familiar with this? Can you see this image or are you still the same? You can't show it. I need a big picture. The Temple of Dendera. Are you familiar with that zodiac?
I think I've heard you talk about it before.
I used to look at this for hours, and I'm trying to find a big picture so you can see. This was the original zodiac found in Hathor or Het-Horus temple, right? Let me see if they're gonna give me a big picture. All right, can you see this? Let me see. Can y'all see what I see?
No.
You can't see. Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing. I should have had a presentation ready for you guys.
I know. I feel like I should have had.
I know we was going here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this thing. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me show that.
Yeah.
All right, you see that? If you look closely, this is making the same depiction of the galactic center.
Yep.
It goes in the swirl. So our ancestors mapped out the galactic center long before we did. It starts here. And it goes in the same swirl. Now this depicts the constellations above us and the deacons and the cardinal points that are held up by women, which you call equinox or solstices.
Yeah.
Right? So all that to say, that's why I asked, you think they're ice walls? Or are they the energy centers that move along the constellation? And we progress from sign to sign to sign. Now, brother, we know the truth now.
Yeah.
They are aligning because farmers almanac, they have to go by the alignment. When the plant, when to do certain things, when the moon is in certain signs as well, not just equinoxes and solstices, right?
So
because
my great grandma taught me.
I'm sorry.
That's what my great grandmother taught me. Quarter moon, half moon.
Honey, because the women know this stuff. Anyway, the longest when we're planting, we're going about the movement of the moon. Now, the moon is so important to us when we do this. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Why do you think they want to get rid of the moon? And is the moon fake? Is it real? Or is it a satellite? What's going on?
For me personally, the moon is real.
Because you're a Cancer like me.
The moon, it wouldn't be no knowledge without the moon. It wouldn't be no knowledge without the sun or the moon. So the moon had to be around a long time. That's what the whole Sumerian teaching is about. Moonalam is that's what Thoth is about. Moonalam is wisdom of Moonalam is all of these great teachings come from the moon. So the moon is real. The moon is in ancient culture, which they call Hebrew teachings. You know, Hebrew comes from another, you know, they say that word comes from somewhere else, but I'm going to say so people can understand what I'm saying. The moon taught Hebrew teachings of different things about nature and planting and harvesting. And the moon goes right along with that teaching of the moon alignment. So I think the moon is real and is very powerful. And the movement of the moon is really 90% of the knowledge that we are really going through.
So why do you think they want to get rid? Have you heard that? They want to
Yeah.
get rid of the moon, honey. They say it's a satellite. They kidnapping children. They sending them to the moon. They got bases on there. Now, I think they do got some kind of bases on there because of that woman. Shout out to I Am God Frequency. I don't know if you're in the building. The woman that they found on the dark side of the moon looked just like my friend Lisa. Y'all don't know who she is. Go check her out. But anyway, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, we know.
I personally, if you ask me, it's a lot of people that believe the moon is a hollowed out draconian observatory with bases, and that our real moon was hijacked by malevolent reptilians that wanted to basically subjugate the realm and basically remove the matriarchal, because the moon is the personification of divine feminine energy.
Yes.
So it's people, I'm gonna just say allegedly. It's people that basically indicate, it's stories like in this book here in Holy Tablets, also individuals like Alex Collier that actually indicate that our moon at one point was hijacked and removed by draconians, by malevolent extraterrestrials. Also, on top of it, another way that they removed the divine feminine energy is by eradicating all the female trees. Is another way that they took off the divine feminine energy off the planet. So it was magic that went into hijacking his realm. It was some magic that was also induced, and it wasn't easy to basically hijack our realm. They had to do things like knock our crystal towers down. We had large crystal towers that stretched out to the ionosphere. We had a lot of technological advancements, and again, Atlantis was a representation of that, as well as Tartaria, and there's other civilizations we probably have no knowledge of. Right? Absolutely. We talk about Atlantis and Tartaria, but who's to say there's other civilizations that we had no knowledge of that was more technologically advanced than we even have knowledge of? But it's a lot of theories in reference to the moon. Sometimes it even look like a hologram. It don't even look solid sometimes. Then other times the moon is gone for days at a time, where you don't even see the moon
because it's in a dark phase. But let me ask you this before. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go.
No, go ahead.
Isn't the moon responsible for magnetic energy on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's fake, what about the connection the moon has with women, their cycles? Mm-hmm. If it's fake, it still has an effect on us somehow, some way. It has an effect on the waters, the tides, the waters in our body, right? Especially those who were born under certain zodiac signs, water signs. When the moon is waxing or waning, it has an effect on the psyche and on the body, as well as the diet. Shout out to the astrology doctor, if she's in the building. She can really tap into this. So I have a hard time thinking or believing in that it's fake, because they say the sun is fake too.
Well,
right?
Hear me out. Not that it's fake. Not as fake. Not 100% fake, but it's not 100% organic. Not 100% real. I'll give you an example. Fake food, for example. We could talk about a candy bar, for example. It tastes great, good as hell. You taste it, you love it. It's rewarding your reward center of your brain, but it's fake food. Just because it tastes good and it make you feel good doesn't mean it's good for you. The moon can make you feel good and give you all this energy, but it's pros and cons to everything. Yeah, I mean, just you know what I mean. But I mean, again, I get, like I said, allegedly. I can't confirm or deny whether our moon was hijacked as an interesting theory in certain ancient texts that basically indicate it. And then when you look at the divine feminine energy and how it's not prevalent, it make a little bit of sense. If the moon was removed and the female plants and all that, kind of make a little sense to why the female energy is no longer as prevalent and dominant on a planet, and how these malevolent forces was able to come in and hijack it.
Are you saying there's no female plants on the planet?
Nah, it's a lot of female plants, but most of them has been eradicated. This is why you can't just walk up to a plant in most cities and just get an orange or apple out the tree and eat it. They go hard as hell to make sure that the female plants aren't for the homeless. And they,
in the United States.
In the United States.
Because
you got in real Egypt, in the real land of Egypt.
Let me throw in one thing that we gotta look at it a different way. I've seen videos with two moons, right? I know all y'all have probably saw video with a moon over here on this side and the moon on that side.
Facts.
Now, what if one moon is real and they create a fake moon to throw off to throw off what the moon really does to the planet and to the people and to the knowledge and to the star alignment. If you throw the moon, if you throw a fake moon in the west that's supposed to be in the east, it throws off the ancient knowledge of our culture. I've seen videos with two moons that can throw us off. One hologram moon and one
we
moon.
off over here.
Because we all. So and you just said the moon goes into a dark cycle, and you were exactly right. What if they throw a crescent moon up when the moon is really the real moon is the dark cycle, and it throws off everything?
It does, because the position of the moon has changed, because you can see normally the crescent moon is either on the left side or the right side.
Exactly.
Sometimes you look at the moon, it's making a smiley face.
Exactly.
Or a frown. So
and that's not natural. And that's
not natural at all. In my all my life, and I'm a little up there, I don't remember seeing the moon making a frown or a smile.
Y'all see that video with that face next to the moon? It's a video where this guy zoomed in and there's literally an entity next to the moon.
You think that's CGI?
I don't know, but with all that, sometimes I wonder if the CGI was induced to make us start questioning the things that we're gonna really start seeing.
You got a point there.
I wanted to talk about what you were saying, wordplay earlier. You said that the zero, type 0 civilization, right?
Yes.
And the type 1 civilization would have to harness the power of the sun, right?
Yes, we had the ability of harnessing energy from our local stuff.
Right. So basically, according to what I've read, they say that the moon didn't always used to be there, and that the custodians actually towed the moon in from their district into our realm to basically harness the power of our second sun.
I can see that.
So and that's why it glows. That's why it glows, because it's around a sun, and it's basically just like it's because custodians are a type 1 civilization.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So like on this map here, it says that they told. Let me see. Let me get it better. They told.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you a solo shot here, young man.
Okay, so they towed the moon in from this book here, where they talk about they towed the moon in from here into our district right here. And then basically it's called a Dionosphere, and the Dionosphere went around our sun, and they actually show that on Moonfall, because in movies they tell you everything that's happening.
Moonfall is fire too.
You know how the Illuminati, the thing about the Illuminati, they have to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So they're telling you the truth. There's a sun inside the moon. You see what I'm saying? And they capture it.
There's a sun in the earth.
And there's a sun in the earth, the black sun. The black sun is in the earth. But I want to read this to you right quick.
Go ahead, this right quick. Yeah, you want? Yeah, let me give you a little solo shot.
You see how the custodians are the ones that took down the trees. The people from the Orion group, and the Annunaki are some haters, man. I'm trying to
no, I agree. The Anunnaki are haters.
Let me just read this one thing right here. I gotta check. You gotta check this out. It says work began on connecting the protons to bypass the extensive conductive tunnels through its roots in conjunction with the utilization and implementation of various elevators and sophisticated vehicles. The custodians and the Anunnaki during the reset have taken it upon themselves to cut down and destroy all the colossal trees and seal all the entrances to these cities. The intention was clear. All memory of these ancient temples and exponential growth had to be erased. So then they repopulated the known lands with a new humanity, adapted towards the ignorance that these cities and that this great empire had once been forged, where their feet would later tread the lands of the ancestors and the Anakim giants.
Wow.
So they basically used their technology to take out the trees, because they didn't want us to have no connection to the technology and the history of the past.
That's the same thing, exactly. Up, the same thing I was saying is in that book. That's a fact.
And I want to say that we know the truth now too, because he's basically saying the same stuff. You know what I mean? And the thing I like about we know the truth, he only deals with the facts that can be proven, and I respect that. You see what I'm saying? I'm basically I'm way over. You know what I'm saying? Talking about something that can't be known. You know what I'm saying? But
this is good.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all kind of saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So I respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is great, man. Because see, the things, a lot of these things we're talking about, it all goes together. Like you said earlier, Mama T, it goes together somewhere. You just got to know where to, lock it in there, because all this stuff go together on certain levels.
Yeah, right. We're unlocking our ancient memories. Everyone has a piece. We have chapters of this book, right?
That's the objective.
There you go, baby. We're here to put this thing together. And people in the chat, you don't know how many people we are activating with this conversation, okay? Because we're remembering, we're waking up, right? And some people were here during different civilizations, at times of different civilizations. And so here we are at the finale of this great story. And I think it's all going to turn out in our favor. You know, I know we talk about the deletes and what they're doing and this and that. I think they're the ones scared to death. I think they're the ones losing their minds. They know this shit is over. They pulling out all the stops, and they're on some kamikaze missions. You know, we can't have it, can't nobody have it. But I also think we're being monitored, we're being watched, and we are our ancestors' return. All of us are here. We are our ancestors' return. We're remembering we came here to be on missions, and we are activating a lot more than we think we are. And so, man, this is a fantastic show. How y'all doing in the chat?
I love it.
How y'all doing out there? This is fire, man. This is fire. So we're gonna take some questions for the chat. How do y'all feel? You guys can hang out for a little longer?
Yeah, I can hang out for a little while.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I was about to spark him, but I was like, nah, I can do it on the show.
You about to what?
He's about to spark up, but he said he's gonna wait.
Oh, he's gonna spark up. Hey. Just don't do it on camera, hun. You could blank out. What you got?
Look what it say.
The text about Medusa and the petrified giants.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that book. I'm about to get that book. That book look fire. I like that.
Remember, Medusa is Tiamat. She's the same person. You can't kill Tiamat. She's an
artist. Right. She
can't
comes
be killed,
through
man.
her daughter. She reincarnates to her daughters. Check this out about. I'm glad that you brought that out.
No.
So check this. You know that they have let me think. Like you go to Greece, you go to Rome. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let me add you back. You go to Greece, you go to Rome, Athens, all of these places, and they have these statues, and they look real. And some of them are posed. They have these posed. It was said that they were petrified, like they looked at something and it turned them to stone, because the detail in these statues look so real that they don't think anyone took there and chiseled it out. This was something that some kind of effect that had over them. So when you show Medusa, like a stare, like a sister, you know, a sister, we got that stare, especially you got them sisters with the one eye that's lower than the other. Now, y'all brothers, y'all should know this. You got the mama like that, your auntie like that, your grand. She look at you and one of them eyes is lower than the other. That because one eye looking at you and the other eye is cutting through your soul. So when you're saying Medusa had a look that could turn you to stone, this might have been a superpower that certain women had at a time before all of this stuff took place on the planet. So I just want to throw that out there. What you think about that?
I personally believe that women did have abilities, but I also believe that they had, when we talk about the Lot's wife, right? And the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot's wife got turned into a pillar of salt. The story basically indicate that the Annunaki had, we're going to talk about the Annunaki again, had extraterrestrial technology that had the ability of literally turning people to stone and stuff. They had technology. Some of the giants you see petrified are petrified due to extraterrestrial technology that they can actually use to literally, you see mountains that look like it was eating or doing something and they froze.
Right.
They didn't even have time to run or nothing.
No, was that from the mud flood?
I believe it was some technology that's beyond our comprehension that can instantly put you in suspended animation.
That's just my perception. I want to say that it's said that the actual dragons that guard the mountain wall is their fire turns you into stone. You see, so all the dragons that come with Tiamat, because she's not coming by herself. You know, they talk about, they got movies where they talk about the dragons just come out of nowhere. They came from the ground. They don't know where they came from, right? It's because they coming from the wall. They come from outside. They follow the queen.
And she had the Tiamatians.
Huh?
Yeah, some beings called the Tiamatians. They said.
Tiamatians out here.
Yeah, like some.
We need to resurrect
them. Her son, she had sons that was big as hell.
Yeah,
her sons was like 60 foot tall and stuff like that.
We need to when y'all gonna turn into them? We need y'all to activate.
We are activating right now as we speak.
So they're basically saying that fire is what actually turned a lot of the giants into stone. Was the fire that's coming from the dragons, but also he's right though, because it says in the book too that the custodians and the Anunnaki was coming, and I'm not sure, they wasn't saying they was put turning into stone, but they did say that they was destroying they civilization though.
They had technology. Yeah. This is when they said when Lot's wife went back, what's she turning to? That is technology. If you look at the Bible,
right. Yeah. There was technology. The whole period of them. That was when the so-called angels came down and they destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's from that story, correct?
And Lil used to say that we made too much noise. And Lil used to hate the humans. He said,
I thought that was Anu.
Yeah, sex loud, all the kids cried too much. So in Lil, like, maybe think about Sodom and Gomorrah. They was partying, they was having a good time. And Lil probably came in here like, man, turn this shit down. Y'all in here wilding out, man. And then they use this technology. And
that's the thing about Anunnaki. That's why there's some haters, because they shouldn't have no say on nothing we got going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not even from this planet. You know what I'm saying? So they shouldn't have no say on nothing we got going on Earth. That's the one thing I don't like about the Anunnaki and the custodians. They have too much of an opinion on what we got going on in their district.
Now there's alleged good Anunnaki like Isis and stories of Inky being good and certain other Anunnaki.
You think she was an Anunnaki? I said was an Anunnaki.
Isis. Isis all set. Yeah, the story tell about. All right, so the way the story go according to the Enuma Elish is that all right. So all set is also Ishtar. Ishtar, all of that is the same goddess. Ishtar, Isis. Ishtar is Isis. Ishtar is Easter. Also, Easter is the personification of fertility. All right. So the way the story goes,
Isis is Jesus.
But go ahead. Yeah, but see the way the story go is basically the Anunnaki was basically trying to create mind. They wanted the mind for gold. Their planet was in jeopardy, right? They came down. They brought the Agigi with them. The Agigi no longer wanted the mind for gold. So allegedly, they found a hominid that was already existing. They covered in hair. They called them the wild ones because they was covered in hair. So the wild ones was actually the Dinosaurians or a hominid that already existed. And again, they referred to them as wild because they was covered from head to toe in hair. All right. Wow. So the way the story go is that these things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There you go.
You know the truth.
These Anunnaki they used materials from the earth and clay and things of that nature, and they basically tried to make a hominid. The way the story go, they used the man first. They used the man genetics. It didn't work. They came out a humanoid, but it couldn't talk. It couldn't communicate or anything. It was basically it was like an NPC. So they said we need to use an Anunnaki woman. We need to use a woman. It's not going to work with just a man. So this is when they took that mixture and then they now inserted it in Isis. This is why the Bible is Genesis, the genealogy of Isis. Gen Isis is genealogy of Isis. It's making reference.
I want to say something about what you're saying real quick, because the Anunnaki, they did come here and create the custodians and the Anunnaki both came here. You're right with Unana. She gave birth to the hominid, and they came out all deformed and shit, and then they had to do it a few times to get it right. But I don't believe that that's the birth of. I don't think that's where I don't feel like that's where we come from, though. Like I feel like that was the birth of the Neanderthal and their civilizations. You know what I mean? I feel like we come from the bloodline of. I feel like of Tiamat. So we're not even from that because we come from a bloodline of the Anunnaki and Tiamat. That's where we come from. But this hominid Neanderthal race, that doesn't have nothing to do. That's the Caucasian. That's their history.
Hold on. What about the Yakub? What about the
Yakub was an Anunnaki that was helping them, the custodians and them to create. He was the one that helped them create the hominid. He was the one that helped them create the Caucasian. You see what I'm saying?
Out of spite.
We were already here. I'm sorry.
For the people in the back, who would like to explain the story of Yakub?
You can explain the story of Yakub.
I can explain the whole story of Yakub if you want to. I mean,
give us the condensed version.
I'll give you the condensed. The condensed version of the story is basically that Yakub was his family. He was associated with two. I got the book right here. I can give you the whole story, but I don't want to do too much. But I can show you pictures of him and everything. Based on the story, Yakub was an amalgamation between a Toro and a being from the Danako tribe.
Dero.
All right, which means that his head was very large. All right, so you got the Toros, which they had to point the cone heads. Okay, cone heads were the Toros. Then you have the Danako tribe, which also had big heads. So Yakub's parents was not supposed to be intermingling. Yakub was inner earth initially, right? Mm-hmm. Yakub was inner earth, and his parent, his mother was a Toro. But the Danako tribes was on the top surface. They was intermingling. They was mating with each other and when they shouldn't have had. And they ended up having Yakub. Yakub's head was bigger than normal because he was a mix of Toro and Danako. So now, with this being said, Yakub had 2 brains, which made him extra smart. He was a very, very brilliant scientist. So the way the story goes,
he was
being
crazy.
picked on and he was being teased about his head and everybody, it's hilarious.
Right. It was making fun of him. It was on Boondocks.
They was making fun of him and shit, right? So, anyways, Yakub got tired of it. He was like, "All right, fuck these niggas. All right, that's why I've been watching them up."
We adults.
He said, "Forget them boys. I'm about to get him back." So at age 7, they said that Yakub experimented with magnets. All right, and he actually discovered polarity. He discovered positive and negative energy. All right. And at that particular point in time, he discovered this this epiphany to actually create negative and energy opposing forces against each other. And that's when he actually started creating the hominid. He had 23 scientists. He started using the eugenics programs. Now, according to some texts, some indicate that he received the tutelage or the download from Ashtar Command, which was a Palladian being that was nefarious that gave him the blueprint to create the Tamahu or the Albion being, the Caucasoid, basically. And we have 99 elements. They lacked it melanin, calcium, and carbon. They lacked it those 3 elements. I see you want to say something. God, go ahead, family. I was
going to say that those Neanderthals, they basically, what Yakub was doing, he was taking the people that already existed, which is the tribes that he came from, and the Neanderthal to create the Caucasian, and so splicing their DNA, trying to eliminate melanin to try to basically make a new species. But I wanted to touch on something you said earlier. You said that the 2 tribes that Yakub came from, the Dero and the other tribe, right?
Yeah.
These tribes were on Earth, right?
Yes. You know
what I'm saying? So that's
some of them was interterrestrials too.
Right. Those are the tribes I'm trying to tell you that come from Tiamat. You see what I'm saying?
All right. So now let's talk about Tiamat a little bit. Are you familiar with the story of, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dr. York's story of Tiamat and how it was brought into existence?
I know Dr. York. I know Dr. York's story.
So you're familiar with it? They saying that Tiamat was a large planet. It was a crash with Nibiru.
Yeah.
A portion of the planet broke off, recoalesced, and created what we know as Planet Kai or Earth, or in ancient times they call Eridu, which we know as Earth. The Annunaki called it Eridu. These are all the suns and stuff. Shamus, Atsu is our central sun. All right. And then you got this is, let me see if I can find a page.
I'm gonna take a page out, Mama. I'm gonna just say that that Dr. York, I'm not and you know, blessings to Dr. York, you know what I'm saying, and all the honor to Dr. York. But I want to say that you know, everybody, like she was saying, everybody I feel like got a piece of that puzzle. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know, and I feel like Dr. York, he did a good job of breaking it down. I just feel like a lot of the stories about Tiamat didn't come out till Zechariah Sitchin started talking about, you know what I mean, like those stuff that happened back in the day. You see what I'm saying? So they got a book called The Lost Book of Enki. Have y'all read that one?
I heard about it, but I haven't had the chance to purchase it.
That's the main book everybody needed. The Lost Book of Enki. He talked about everything.
I'm gonna get that book.
He talks about how he created the hominid. You know what I'm saying? Talks about how there was different species. They had different types of Annunaki during that time. And Dero was one of them, and they had another tribe there, and the African American was one of them. They have a bunch of different tribes that was here during that time, and I feel like that. But Yakub was a part of the Annunaki, of these new tribes that basically got mad because we was clowning them. Well, just like we do today, big ass head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was doing that.
Different than how we do people today.
And so Yakub got mad and said, "I'm gonna destroy these people. I'm gonna use them, and I'm gonna use the Neanderthal to create a new man." You know what I'm saying? That's what he did.
And then, but see, most people talk about Yakub, but they never really talk about his brother who had opposing ideologies of Yakub and wanted to restore order. He wanted to restore order where Yakub implemented chaos. His brother wanted to implement order and actually restored restore energy back to the Nubian being. All right, so and
that sounds like Inky and Lil.
This nigga right here.
It does sound like Inky and Lil. That's why I'm saying.
Like,
And it says that Inky was an ugly motherfucker, and he looked ugly as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Well, damn.
So they didn't, he was mad because his head was brolic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That could be Inky though. That could be Inky because that story come from Muslims or Islam.
Listen, honey, let me tell y'all something. Y'all just saying the same story over and over. It's a remix. Y'all P. Diddy, king of the remix. Y'all remixing the story over, and it's always the same story. It's always two brothers want to oppose, which represents opposing natures. It represents duality.
It's the hero twin story. Like that's
they keep changing the names. They keep changing the names.
Some people say Yaqub actually translated to Yahweh.
Oh, okay.
Now let's talk about, because you said something about Yah and Wei being Nibiru and Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
Well, that's according to the Hopis. They believe that one of the signs of the times is going to be Nibiru and Sirius returning, basically coming back. And what the Hopis believe is that one is going to occupy the North Pole, one is going to occupy the South Pole, and this is going to be a sign that what they believe is that our planet is spinning in an accurate way. It's actually spinning clockwise when it should be spinning counterclockwise. So what the Hopis believe is that when Nibiru and Sirius get on the North and South Pole, is going to redirect the trajectory of Tiamat. And actually, at that particular point in time, it will invoke a new way the world is going. This is based on Hopis. This ain't me. This is based on.
No, that's cool. I'm just trying to understand with astrology. There's things called fixed stars, meaning that they don't move. Now, Nibiru we're all on ships. Put it that way, right? Because we're all rotating. We're moving. Earth is a ship. If you think about it, it's a planet. It's a ship. We're moving. We ain't sitting still. But they're like certain stars, like Polaris, you always the North Star. I was looking for the North Star. It's always there, right?
Pole star.
Sirius is one,
stars.
right? Yeah. Regulus, right? There's these stars that are in a line, and they don't move. So it's interesting when they said when Sirius goes to one pole and Nibiru comes to another. That's the first I'm hearing about that, because I didn't think Sirius moves, but who knows? It could be, because it's known as a fixed star.
I mean, it's maybe they said when it becomes visible, but that's what the Hopis teach. Let me see here. It says, Yao and Wei. Let me see here. I'm going to it right now. First thunders. Okay, so one of the let me get to that part where I mentioned Yao and Wei real quick. Hopis, Yamasi, and the Wapians have logged these thunders as a sign coming of a new planet, and Nibiru, the coming of a new era, the sign of the end of a new present world ruled by evil, and the resurrection of the ancient mysteries of Egypt, Atlantis rising in the heart of Georgia. Let me see here.
So, what I was gonna say, is Yah and Wei is similar, like the red Kachina and the blue Kachina?
That's red Kachina, blue Kachina. It's the exact same thing. That's the fourth thunder. So the fourth thunder is a sign of twins, Yao and Wei. Yao and Wei. One guards the South Pole, the other guards the North Pole. Havoc begins with these poles. Structures break down. Religion, moral, and financial. The devil wins. El Nino takes over. And in the fifth thunders, 4 great people will perish. So this could be the queen. This could be the personification of the Pope. You know the Pope is sick right now, okay? So 4 great people perishing is a sign of the Hopi prophecy. The fifth thunder actually coming into fruition. Floods, lightning storms, tornadoes, landslides, hurricanes, hell in the summer, forest fires, children killing children. We see that in the drill rap right now. Children killing children is crazy with the drill rap right now. What else they say?
But that's been going on.
Oh, I know, but it's worse right now with drill rap. Chicago Listen, when I was a shorty, Biggie and Pac dying was a surprise in rap. Like, oh, rappers died. Now
that was a big thing. Yeah, it's an everyday thing.
It's like it's not even a surprise no more, right?
Right.
So
right.
This is what I'm talking about. Children killing their parents, rampant insanity and murders, and upsurge in drug addiction and demonic revivals, parading themselves as righteous. El Nino, little girl will come. It says little girl will come. I don't know what that means. 6 thunders, changes occur. The star people return. Signs in the skies. New planets, new galaxies, meteorite storms, climatic alterations. We see that all. We see all those things. Global warming, spiritual revivals, presence of divine. It says disregard and respect for world governments. People starting to realize the government full of shit, and they no longer respect their authority.
It's here.
Right?
Somebody said, Veil is up. Said, yeah, it's already here, honey. This is it. That's what I'm saying. This is the grand finale.
But listen, it says leadership politics, seventh under the end of the world as you know it, the year 2030, according to the Hopis. Now, the God made mention of the calendar being shifted 1,000 years. All right, so are we really in the year 1025? If that's the case,
not
really think about that.
But how do you know this shit didn't happen already? And this, like, we just
we're living in a post-apocalyptic world. This world already been destroyed already. It's already been destroyed.
Hold up, where are my sound effects?
It's like our seventh time. Like they've been destroying this stuff back to like you saying. Y'all just said 1903 they had fires, and you know what I'm saying. The other time they had fires out there in what's called Chicago. They've been doing it.
This is an ongoing thing. So sometimes I be wondering, is all of this another psyop, right? Because it's quite evident we're at the precipice of something, right? We're at the crossroads of something. Mm-hmm. And we're being bombarded with all these psyops, you know? Go ahead, bro.
We got 7 chakras, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Earth has 7 chakras too. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
The Earth hurts also, but when the Earth hurt, bad things happen. We try to blame it on everything else, but the Earth has chakras. The Earth has powers. Like you say, melanated people have powers. The Earth have the supreme powers.
Honey,
and if you bothered, and if you ain't seen nothing yet, now if the Earth is hurt in a certain type of way, and over time through these resets, the Earth was hurt every time. And if it happens again, a chakra can set this Earth off. The Earth can a flood, like you just said, a flood, a fire, a mud slide. All of that is nature's reset. And the way nature gonna reset, the Earth gonna make nature reset, right?
Facts.
So we gotta start looking at this thing a whole different way than it just coming from, because if the Earth shifts under the ocean, a whole continent could be gone in an hour.
It's a goddamn wrap. You're right. So it's very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up.
So we got to get these people who hurting the Earth to slow down or stop, that's a big problem.
They got
with our,
No, they got to.
And that's the thing. They can't go nowhere because they from here, and nobody's about to accept them in their district. Nobody. They got to stay right where they at. They're not about to leave. They're not allowed to leave this district. We can go, but they can't leave. They got to stay.
Now with the chakras, I just got to say this: in Vedic teachings, they teach that we actually have 116 chakras.
We have a lot.
7 main chakras, 72,000 meridian pathways. We got chakras in our hands. We got chakras in our feet. We got a higher heart chakra. Or we also have a higher heart chakra. We have what's called a soul star chakra that sits above the crown chakra. We have what's called a foot star chakra. We have an earth star chakra, because chakras that also exist within our auric field as well. Because we got to remember, we're not just the body. We can't
even get the 7 right.
Got about 3 foot.
And I worked in the oil field, and this would change. This one part of what happened that I actually saw in my own eye that let me know the Earth is different. The Earth is pumping as if it has a heart, people.
It does.
It is pumping. It is pumping rivers. It is pumping.
Pulse.
It's pumping. It has a pulse. It's pumping. It's pumping. It's pumping. And and when you look at it, it looks like a person that's in the hospital on the
respirator
on the flatline thing, right?
Oh, Jesus Lord.
And when bad things happen, as in things like you burn down too much wood in this area, you move water from an area that don't supposed to be moved, the Earth flatline gets like it's getting thinner.
Cardiac arrest out here.
Exactly, and that's when bad things happen.
That's a fact.
And
Yes,
I just
sir.
No,
want to
you're
make
right,
sure I
God.
know
You're
that my
100% right.
son.
Yes,
That's the pulse
sir.
of the earth. That's facts.
Shout out on that.
I never
Yes,
seen
sir.
it from that viewpoint.
Yo,
of
but
the earth.
Yeah,
you
me
know
neither
what?
until I saw the all flatline. Yeah.
I love that you said that.
Crazy.
Thank you for bringing us back to earth, right? Because this is where we are. This is where we need to be paying attention
Yeah,
to
we need
this
to be
shit.
paying attention to what
You
you're
know what I'm
about.
saying? Because no, you're right. Because I've always said, when this planet is stressed out, she's going to
We
get rid
stressed
of
out.
what's stressing her out.
Exactly.
She's
No,
going
that's
to
a
get
fact.
rid of what's stressing her the hell out. And we need to realize, because we're not connecting to nature in this planet. If this is our home, right? Because we're all trying to go somewhere else. A lot of people want to go to all these other places, but we on Earth, right? We're in this body. We're in a physical form, right? Even though the spirit, the soul is in the body, operating it, but we in the body.
Exactly right.
Like you said, all the minerals and everything of the earth you're going to find in our body, as well as the stardust is too. You're going to find all of this. It's a reflection, right? So we are like, you know, when you look in the mirror or you look in the water, right, you see your reflection or the reverse side of you, right? This is what it is. And we have to reconnect to the planet and everything in it. And once we do that, we'll be in harmony with the planet, because we have been adverse to the planet with the plastic. I mean, a lot of us, we are participating in the demise when we do things like trash and garbage and plastics. And we know that the people, the corporations are using pesticides and this and that and the other, but we're not unifying enough to conquer them. And when we look at it, it's 1% of them and 99% of us. So whose fault really is it?
The wisest thing I ever heard was that Earth is a big part. Earth is the universe. Earth is a big part of this universe that we are talking about, because a lot of the beings that we know to be actually here for sure are here. So something special is here also, and this is a part of the universe. A lot of people just think, we just look at like we just not a part of the universe no more. We are. We might be the center of the universe. So
that's why everybody here.
We are exactly. So we have to put that into equation with the other knowledge, because we are part of the universe also.
I wanted to say something, but I'm gonna go off topic.
Go ahead.
Real quick, what's it called? You know how we, as people of color, they talk about how we have powers and stuff, right? Superpowers. What people don't know is that the Annunaki are actually much weaker than we are. You see what I'm saying? For an example, like when Superman was on Krypton, he didn't know he had super strength. You see what I'm saying? But the Black Americans and the people that are on this planet are super strong as hell. You just can't tell because everybody like you. You see what I'm saying? But if you go to another district, you're going to be way more stronger than they are. You see, so we already have superpowers. You see what I'm saying? But we just don't realize it because we all amongst each other. But we just need to just keep staying healthy. You know what I'm saying? Take care of ourselves. And we already got the powers that we need. So when this enlightenment comes, because there's a war that's about to come. There's a war coming.
Hold up. When did the war stop?
It never stopped. It never stopped. But they're scared of us the most, though, because we are superpowered. We're already superpowered.
So, exactly. I want to stay right there, because the superpower is in the consciousness. It's in the connection of the soul and the body, as well as connecting to the earth, kind of like Avatar. I remember the movie Avatar. The Avatar is really talking to us. The waterways, with all the different versions of Avatar, they're really trying to show us who we are, right? With our hair, connecting, everything like that. Most of us don't even know the anatomy and physiology of the body, right? We're not even using all of the brain. So just imagine if we tapped into now, Elroy, you have this contraption, this mechanism. You had this video with your two children and this, I don't know what the hell that was. You had this
it's right here. It's right here.
Go get that thing, honey.
It's sitting on my chest.
He had them, the little boy step on a I'm gonna hold on. Hey, little boy, step on a copper ball. Yeah, that whole thing. I told you, this man a genius, right? Hold on. Let me give you a solo.
This is actually the image of Hathor, and I didn't even realize I made it in her symbol until after I had already made it. I didn't even realize.
Look at this. Because they calling you. The sisters, the mothers are calling. The planet is calling her children to awaken and do what they got to do before she come wipe this thing clean.
Right. And I'm not sure if y'all know what this does here, but just for people who don't know, it just sends an electromagnetic frequency through your body, and you can also send it through the ground, and it'll come through your feet. You know what I'm saying? If you're outside grounding, you can switch the hertz to Earth's hertz at 8 hertz, and it'll match this Earth's frequency at the same electrical frequency. I'm actually going to show this on the Quantum Fest. For that, I'm gonna get like 10 people together, and we all gonna do it like together.
That's fine. That's fine.
Bring to my point what I was talking about. That. Hold on, keep that in. That's a prop. Keep that there. That's a prop.
I also want to say that actually,
hold on.
The reason why we're the most powerful things in the galaxy is because the sun, the black sun, which is the black hole, the wormhole to the fifth dimension, is in our realm. It's in the center of our realm, and so we have the most powerful sun in the whole galaxy.
I believe
yes, that's the reason why we're the strongest people in the galaxy.
I just wanted to say this, honey, about this. What do you call that?
It's called it's basically the Dejed. The Dejed. That's what they was doing. They was sending
the Dejed. The Dejed you got.
The Jet pillar.
You talking about like the pharaoh name Dejed? Right.
Yeah. The little Dejed thing they had in their hand. This is basically what this is. It sends an electromagnetic. It's magnetic. It sends an electromagnetic frequency. See right here. It's magnetic. The whole staff is magnetic.
What you use lithium and magnets to power it?
So basically, the staff is a transformer. This is the generator that sends the electric current through the staff, which creates the magnetic field and sends the current through the whole staff. So basically, like this right here, I put this in the ground with the ball, and the current goes through this whole wire into the ground, into your feet, into up. You're gonna feel it in your body and everywhere.
That's so. Well, the point I was trying to make with you in the Dejed was when we activate, we need a lot more brothers like you creating things like this to charge us in the way that we need to. Because when you had your children out there and it was just 3 of you, when it was most strongest is when you all held hands.
Right.
Because you were holding one side and Benego felt it. And then you said something, and we could get 10, 20 people, even standing in water or something that you said of that nature, how we can all charge up our frequencies.
Together. Yep.
Together. And that is the magic word. Togetherness, unity. And this is why we are weakened on this planet. This is why everyone is fighting us, why everyone wins that are this 1%, because we are divided, fighting each other, and that is creating our weakness.
Yeah, because I never thought I can say that, because somebody's gonna say what will happen. I could say it's never been done. I have never seen it done. Where I've only ever had two people. You know what I mean? But if I got 6, 10 people, you know what I'm saying? I turn up the charge and I say we're gonna put it on the Earth's hertz, 8 hertz frequency, and send that current through all of us at the same time, and we're all matching the same electrical frequency. What the hell is that, bro? We don't know what can happen. You know,
we about to
we sit here charging up in the water. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we about to do. With that being, I want to make a quick announcement. You see what Elroy showed. We're going to have this at the Quantum Fest. So I want to show you, make sure y'all go and register now. It's available for you to get your tickets if you are looking to be a speaker, an influencer, if you're a scientist, you want to go to quantumfest.net and sign up right now. This is where science drop knowledge, metaphysics spark magic, and 5D ascension take place with special guest Dr. B. Sirius, I Am God Frequency, straight wordplay in the building, me, Shot Bless, aka Mama T, Yaya 777, Top Phoenix, my brother Elroy. Y'all need to go now and sign up. Tickets are now available. We're looking for scientists, inventors, natural healers, astrologers, numerologists, artists, food trucks, holistic entrepreneurs. Bring your magic to the people and showcase your your craft. Tap in now. Get your tickets now. Quantum Fest, vendors, speakers, performers, entertainers, volunteers. Contact us today. QuantumFest.net. And I just wanted to bring that out
so
there.
nice. This is beautiful.
It's going to be popping. I can't wait.
What you was going to say? We know the truth. You was about to ask me something.
What's interesting about what you have is I researched the Jolly Green Giant mound builder. You know, they say that was in, I think that was in, I can't remember what state, it was in America, but that crop field that he planted had copper running up and down the crop field. In an ancient culture done this, right? And when they dug it up, this copper is connecting and so they replanted the crops with the copper lines in the ground, and those plants grew exactly the same, like the same speed, the same shape, and everything. So when you say they're connecting hands with the copper, I mean with the you put the copper ball on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, all of that is that's very interesting, man. I really appreciate you doing that. It just kind of shows that nature and the beings on this planet can connect and use the same power and grow each other with that power.
Mama T, my drink. Just want to make you aware. If I shout out, it's because my drink dying. I don't got it in the tires. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
mine too. That's dope though. That's dope though, bro.
But yeah, that's very fire. That's very fire. That was genius, family. That motivated me too.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Because I really just want to. Because I never had the opportunity to have more than 3 people. So I just can't wait to get a bunch of people with me. Maybe I could get like a big old pool, a kiddie pool. We all standing there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. We gotta get charged up, honey.
Something might happen, bro. You don't want
something might happen. I think because we all connected electrically.
He said something bad might happen.
I'm talking about it's gonna be good.
Something good, okay.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be powerful.
Copper bracelets too. That'll probably enhance it.
Yeah, I got some copper bracelets.
Yeah, wear copper bracelets and be barefooted.
Summer solstice. This will be during the summer solstice.
Ooh, man.
So, the alignment period that's what I'm talking about. You need to be there, Mr. We know the truth now. I'm gonna need you.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be there.
You gotta come. Right?
I got you.
And you use organs.
Organs, all of that. Those of you who are scientists, inventors, this is your wheelhouse. We need you there, right? This is just bigger than just a regular festival. Like, this is where we showcase our gifts and our talents, your inventions, bring out your prototypes. This is the place for that, right? So come on, man, be a part of this thing. It's about to be popping.
I'm excited.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Annunaki came out and landed right on the
God. Why are you gonna bring them party poopers? They the party poopers. We don't want.
They gonna be like, nah, we don't want y'all doing that.
And we finna do that. We got to shift something because the shift is up to us. It's up to us to do this.
We don't want the powers. We don't want the powers. They can't do it.
Show and prove, baby. So with that being said, we're going to close out this thing. Do y'all have any last words you want to share with the audience and let them know where they can find you, where they can follow you, what you do, where you can be found? And also, they all going to be at the Quantum Fest, y'all. So y'all might want to go ahead and get your tickets now. So we're going to start with We the Truth now. What closing words do you have for the people today?
I gave my word. I'm going to be at the Quantum Fest. I'm going to be there. Sir. Follow me on TikTok at We Know the Truth Now. My YouTube is We Know the Truth Now. And peace to the guys and goddesses, man. We just here trying to enlighten the people on different knowledge, and we all try to put this big puzzle together because our history has been so scrambled around in different places that they try to mislead us from the truth. But that's my goal, to get down to the absolute truth for the beginning of a lot of these things, and that's what I like to stay a part of that. So y'all follow me at We Know the Truth now on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. I love y'all, and I'm in love with you, man.
Oh, I
Roll the
love you
phone.
too, baby. Thank you
Roll the
so
cone.
much. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you
No
so
doubt.
much. All right, strange wordplay. Up next, what you got for the people there?
Man, you can follow me on Instagram at holistic_remedies_9. You can also follow me on TikTok at Strange the Wordplay King, as well as YouTube Strange the Wordplay King. I'm also on Facebook at Kelvin Strange Crippen. And I also got some esoteric lyrics coming as well. High frequency lyricism is what I really specialize in. All right. So that's really what the primary objective is. And also teaching you how to cleanse yourself. All right. Right now, when we stepping into ascension to Christ consciousness, our primary focal point is cleansing ourselves at ascension to Christ consciousness. Removal of parasitic organisms, cleansing yourself and detoxing yourself of all toxic metals and things of that nature. That's what I pretty much let the gods and goddesses focus on, because their whole objective is to poison us to ensure that we don't reach Christ consciousness through toxic metals, lead, cadmium, mercury, parasitic organisms that have adverse effects in your genetic sequence. That's their whole objective. So clean yourself, fast, sun gaze. All of these things are essential for light code activation.
Ashay. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right, Mr. Elroy, you up next.
I just want to thank y'all for tuning in, and I appreciate you for inviting me on the show. Shout out to We Know the Truth, and
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Strange wordplay.
Strange word. Shout out to y'all brothers, man. Y'all getting some good information. Got me thinking over here a lot.
Man, shout out to you, both of y'all brothers too, man. I appreciate both of y'all.
Yeah, that was fire, bro.
Yeah,
where they can find you at?
I want to say that, you know, that you guys are more powerful than you can ever imagine. You know, it may appear that we don't have a lot of strength, but we do. And in order, you know, and that's the fire that's within y'all. In order for there to be a fire, something has to be sacrificed. So always remember that the fire can't exist without a sacrifice. So just stay strong and keep working on your body, keep staying healthy, and man, just hope to see y'all at Quantum Fest, man, because I can't wait to let everybody try it.
Where can they follow you at, Elroy?
Y'all can find me on TikTok as Elroy. You know, you'll find it, or you can look at me up on Google, put EMF staff. It'll pull it up.
Awesome. For all of you are going to be watching the replay, I'm going to tag all of their web pages, all of their social media accounts, and you can be able to find them there. Okay. So once again, brothers, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I've been following you. I've been following both Strange Wordplay.
I follow both of y'all, man. It's Wordplay, man. I've been watching you since you first started.
Man, I appreciate you. I got to make sure that I know your joint too. What's your joint again, family? I'm about to follow you right now.
Elroy.
Elroy. I'm about to look at you right now, family.
I'm following you.
And I follow you too.
There you go. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Right. Make sure y'all come to the Quantum Fest. It's going to be an amazing event. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a powerful build. Look, this was fire. What you talking about? Like, I really enjoyed the show. It was popping. What y'all think? What you get? Give a round of applause for the brothers that came on here today. Oh, I'm always speechless at the end of a live. It just takes me somewhere. I'm just so happy that all of this is coming together. You know, the whole point of the Stella Maris Podcast is to bring talent like this and showcase them to the community, right? We all know the stars out there in the community, but there's a lot of heavy hitters that we were on TikTok. TikTok is a whole nother space. A lot of people aren't on there. So my goal was to bring those people from TikTok right here on the Stella Maris Podcast and share them with this audience so you can see the knowledge and the wisdom that we have to offer. There's so much out there. There's so much information. It's our time, y'all. It's our time to awaken, to walk in your divine purpose and your divine power. All right? We just traveled through dimensions on this one. The knowledge drop tonight was beyond powerful. And if you're really listening, you already know this conversation was a major activation. We uncovered some of the lost truths of Atlantis and its deep connections to the Americas. We explored Tartaria, the Moors, the cosmic blueprint of our ancestors. We broke down some planetary alignments, sacred mounds, and suppressed history they tried to erase. Now it's time to take this knowledge and apply it. Start questioning, start researching, and most importantly, start remembering. Thank you for joining me tonight. I love y'all. Once again, Sha Bliss signing off, aka Mama T. Thank you. I love y'all. Peace, love, happiness, joy, all that good things. And make sure you go to quantumfest.net. And don't forget to try some of Mama T's wellness blends today. With that being said, love y'all. Peace out.
Your North Node is calling. Are you listening? It's the blueprint of your destiny, the coordinates to your highest evolution. This ain't just astrology, baby. This is soul alchemy. You ever feel like you've been here before? Like your spirit's been dancing through dimensions, searching for the path it was always meant to walk? That's where I come in. North Node Astrology is where the mystical meets the practical, where ancient wisdom decodes your purpose, your power, your next level. You align with the stars, activate your fate, step into your divine assignment. North Node Astrology, because the universe has been waiting for you. Visit North Node Astrology and book your consultation with me today at sacredtea.net. Peace and positive vibrations. Welcome to the portal as you enter into the world of the sacred. It starts with a pour, slow, intentional, steam curling like whispers from the ancestors. We don't just sip tea, we build legacies. We're in alignment. This is a vibration you can feel, touch, taste, and smell. The ancients knew. They sip to awaken, to dream in technicolor, to open the third eye, to use the realms unseen, to tap in. Blue lotus, born from the Nile, kissed by the moonlight, woven into the mystic hands of time, infused with mango green and peach oolong, apple, hibiscus, ginger, a blend of the body, soul, and spirit. And now it's yours. Hand blended, small batch, crafted with intention. 'Cause when it's gone, baby, it's gone. Because real magic ain't mass produced. One drop at a time. How we flow. It's a vibe, sacred tea, baby. So don't wait, tap in, sip deep, and let this moment be a ritual, a return, a renewal. SacredTea.net. Let's get it. Claim your cup. Sacred Tea. Before the last drop is poured. Sacred Tea. Sacred Tea. If you would like to be a guest on the Stella Maris Podcast, please contact me at info@sacredtea.net.